Over on the East Loop going westbound, got the off-ramp partially blocked by a crash to Shelby Avenue. And then a stalled vehicle on the right shoulder. That is 65 southbound at Trinity Lane. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
What's going on, kids? Y'all doing all right? It's about 6 minutes after 3 o'clock. My name is Matt Murphy, and this is the Matt Murphy Radio Show, underway for another day. Thank you for being around with us. Whatever time you're able to give us, we're certainly appreciative of that. We've got, they allot us about 240 minutes, a little less than that, frankly. You know, we get started about 6 after, and, then you minus the, I think it ends up being about 40 minutes of airtime. But anyway, one way or the other, we thank you for being a part of it. There's Chris Webber. He's behind the glass, as always, or as most times. Hello. I don't like to say as always because we do give you a vacation every now and again.
Yeah, sometimes I escape.
How's it going?
It's going.
Man, I'm so glad you're Johnny on the spot. You know what? You're Chrissy on the spot. Wait a minute. I should probably rethink that. I'll rethink that one. You're Weber on the spot. Because I got all kind of sound coming out of this, and if you weren't on the spot,
really?
it would have been, this would have been awful.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of awful, there's Ken Witt. No, I'm just kidding, Ken. How are you?
I'm doing all right, boys. How are you?
Did y'all's horses win this weekend?
No, mine didn't.
No?
I don't think so. At least I haven't heard about it.
Didn't know I had a horse.
I liked the, y'all see that Kentucky Derby? Anybody watch that?
My horse may have won, and I don't even know. Who won?
Nope, Sovereignty won. Oh, the reason I know this is because I thought it was funny. Sovereignty won over journalism.
Wow.
Which is kind of like Donald Trump winning again, honestly, if you think about it.
Yeah.
So apparently that was the big headline. Sovereignty beats journalism again. So for those into the horse racing, I am on record. I understand that a lot of you like it. I understand a lot of you like horses. If I were king of the world, there would be no more horse racing because the only reason that we race horses is because of gambling, and you can gamble on something else. They have to shoot them, not on occasion. A lot of horses get shot annually because they hurt themselves and they have to get killed. If you want to live with that and you're all good with that, that's fine. That's all well and good. I understand there's breeders in the audience. I understand there's horse lovers in the audience, and I don't want to get into that fight. I'm just not that into it. I put up with it because everybody else is into it, and I'm not that guy that's going to stamp out of the room. But, I went to a Derby party, for goodness sake, on Saturday afternoon. But I'm just not into horse racing. I wouldn't want to go.
Yeah, it wouldn't be my cup of tea either.
No, it's just, I went to the steeplechase a couple of years. And that's all well and good, and it's a good party, and that's all well good and fine. My rule is this, that if you want to keep doing it, just be a little more honest about it, and everybody in attendance has to watch when they have to kill a horse.
Yeah.
And everybody always reacts the same way. They go, it's like, well, what do you think's going on here? A horse hurts himself. They go kill the horse.
Yeah.
Y'all.
That's what you've always heard, right? They break a leg. What are you going to do?
Yeah, they're going to kill the horse is what they're going to do. And it happens with regular. I think there were 9 horses that got killed last year during Derby week.
Wow.
I think that's right.
Really?
During the entire week. I think that's correct, and I'll fact check myself on it. But, look, once again, I'm not hating on you. Just understand the reality of what you're into. That's fine. That's all well and good. I would prefer to bet on like human beings doing stupid things. Because at least they know. So I think it's time for Freddie and Murphy to have another talk since 32-17.
Already?
Apparently it didn't take. I don't know. We talked last week. Freddie had some things to say about what went down over the weekend. We're going to talk about that in a moment. I don't want to get too far away from this, though. So, Weaver, you're not into the horse racing?
Nah. No.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Doesn't do anything for me. It's just a lot. I don't understand. Maybe I should. I shouldn't do this because I'll get into trouble. But
But you're going to do it anyway.
I'm going to do it anyway. So, I mean, Americans do not need an excuse to party and to drink.
No.
And so, hence, you have Cinco de Mayo, which is just a big excuse to party. Yeah. You have St. Patrick's Day, which is just a big excuse to party. I mean, every major American holiday has become just a big excuse to party for most of it. And then we have other events. I mean, and I feel like the Kentucky Derby, I don't feel like most people are that into it. People just want a small reason to get together and have a good time.
It's a social event.
It is a social event.
Yeah, you got to be part of it. You got to post some selfies.
Oh, sure.
Wearing a big old hat.
Or one of them, what do they call them? Fascinators. I heard that phrase over the weekend. Fascinators. It's not a hat. It's a fascinator, Ken.
Oh, okay.
That's basically a headband with a bunch of crap on it.
Ah. Well, I did not know that.
I don't know. I don't know.
Brother
the things
Murphy,
you learn.
You are in a mood, aren't you, man?
I am in a mood. I'm in a mood.
Started last week.
So here's the deal. So we're gonna play a little bit after Ken Weaver's news. We're gonna play a great game that I came up with, and it's called Trumpo.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
It's like bingo, only with our man Donald J. Trump. I'm very excited.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Here we go. It's time for Trumpo.
Greatest game show ever.
It's going to be fabulous. We're going to have a good time, and we're going to give away thousands, millions, gajillions in prizes. Trumpo. Because I don't know. Well, I can't do it now. If I do it now, we'll get into Trumpo. But I'll do it in a minute. Because I did not have Alcatraz on the Trumpo card. Did y'all have Alcatraz on the Trumpo card? If you had Alcatraz on the Trumpo card, you need to come up to the front because you just won.
Grand prize, huh?
You're a big winner.
Wow.
Trumpo.
I did not have an image of Trump as the Pope.
And people freaking free. Of all the things on the internet, liberals finally found the thing that's going to bring them back to God. Is Donald Trump as the Pope. Liberals have, for the last 20 years, pushed away from God Almighty, and this is what's going to bring them back? Donald Trump and a meme of him looking like the Pope? You're telling me you support the abortion of millions of babies, but Donald Trump is the line that you're going to draw in the sand as the Pope? That's the one that's the hill you're going to die on? If you're a good Catholic, abortion, you're all cool with it, but because you're a liberal. But Trump looking like the Pope, that's suddenly we're going to act like Muslims and a depiction of Muhammad and we're going to kill somebody? Is that what we're going to do? I'm not about to be lectured by you people about any of this. There are no rules. You created that. I didn't create that. When you defended Kathy Griffin or whatever the hell her name is, holding up the bloody head of Donald Trump because it was art, don't you tell me. Don't you tell me about standards of decorum. I don't want to hear any of that from you. And, by the way, it was a joke. Get over it. There was also one, I thought it was far more offensive that he was there as the Star Wars guy. Did you see him as a Star Wars guy?
Yes.
With the lightsaber?
Like real big guns.
He's got
his muscles.
It annoys the crap out of people when they depict him with all the muscles and the pecs, and he's got the... they hate it. They hate it. But that's fine. Haters are going to hate. Haters are motivators. So we will discuss the Trump weekend. It was a weekend full of tariff moves and the Pope pick and talk shows and Star Wars and all of that. I mentioned that on the Derby front, sovereignty beat journalism, which is, the fun part of the Derby. Now, today, we have young people that are complaining about actually having to pay back money that they promised to pay back at the time that they borrowed it. Interesting how that works. And now we're being told that if you've ever considered or declared bankruptcy, then you're a hypocrite if you expect that people who promise to pay money back are going to be expected to pay it back, right? Because that's basically what it is. It's just declaring bankruptcy on your student loans. That's right. Donald Trump and the rest of America actually expects you to pay back your student loans if you agreed to pay back student loans. We will discuss that on the show today as well. And then, of course, the big story locally is the Nashville weekend traffic stops that occurred without the knowledge The big news is Freddie O'Connell, the mayor of Nashville, everybody locally, they really, 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 really want you to know, pause for effect, that they had nothing to do with it. That's your takeaway, Freddie O'Connell? That you had nothing to do with it? Your takeaway upon the news that Immigration and Customs Enforcement and the Tennessee Highway Patrol are going to do the job that you ought to be facilitating or at least helping them do with regard to following local, state, and national law with regard to immigration into this United States of America. Your takeaway from the fact that they're doing the job is to say, hey, just so y'all know, we didn't have anything to do with that. We didn't have anything to do with any of that. We love y'all. And oh, by the way, here's a fund where people are raising money to help these other illegal aliens who are currently in the community illegally as well. Look, I don't have anything against human beings. I don't have anything against any human being on planet Earth so long as they are people of good character. Now, you know, I've got a few things against people of low character. But regardless of your skin color, regardless of your ethnicity, your national origin, your background, your sex, your sexual orient, I don't care. I love all of you. I love all of you as individuals. But I also recognize that on this planet Earth, there are rules of civility. We have set up these rules of society. I was watching a great documentary about the Pilgrims over the weekend. Believe it or not, this is what I do on my weekends now that I don't drink so much. I watch documentaries on the Pilgrims. And there was a discussion regarding the Mayflower Compact and why the Mayflower Compact was such an important piece in the formation of the United States of America. And it was those individuals those Pilgrims agreeing that, hey, we haven't set up the rules that we're going to agree on yet. We haven't set up the laws yet, but we're going to agree that this is the way we're going to do it. We're going to come together and we're going to vote on certain ways that we expect society to comport themselves. And that is going to be what we call the law. And we're going to follow the law. And if you disagree with the law, that doesn't mean that you don't get to follow it or that you don't have to follow it. That means that you are compelled to come before the body of the greater good and you are to compel them or convince them that the law needs to be changed toward your way of thinking. That's called, in broad terms, a democracy. It's also, in more specific terms, called a representative republic. It's the way that we live our lives. But understand, even before you create those laws, you have to establish amongst the governed that we're going to live this way. This is the way we're going to live. That we're going to be bound together by the laws that we as a society create. And part of the law that we have created in our society, I don't want to get off on too much of a rant here, but Freddie O'Connell, you don't seem to understand this. You liberals don't seem to get it. Part of what we have created as a society is that we are bound together by the law. And if you don't like the law, then you convince your local representation to fight for you to change it, or you convince your state representation or your national representation. And if there's enough of you that elect enough of you, you can make that law what you want it to be. If enough Democrats, if enough liberals get elected to the Congress of the United States of America and the House and the Senate, if enough liberals get elected to the presidency of the United States of America, over time, you have the ability to change the law. You can break down every sovereign border we have in America, and you can say, come on in, boys, the water's fine. And you can bring every ne'er-do-well, an a-hole, an illegal alien that you want to bring into this country. All you have to do is win elections. Otherwise, shut up, sit down, and follow the law. That turned quickly. Got a little hot. Hot under the collar. My bad. I mean, it just wears me out that liberals claim they believe in our system of government. I mean, these same liberals are online over the weekend going, Donald Trump's destroying democracy. And the same liberals that scream about Donald Trump destroying democracy are demanding that Freddie O'Connell bring back the illegal aliens that Donald Trump's ICE just rounded up because they're here against the law. On what planet does that make any sense? It does not make any sense. Because liberals make no sense. Typically. All right, so that's just a little taste of what you'll get on the show today. Plus, Trumpo. I don't even know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna call it Trumpo, and Chris Webber has a theme. That's all I know. That's all. It's like bingo, except it's Trumpo, and we're gonna come up with as many ideas. We're gonna try to remember the number of things that Donald Trump has come up with over his time as president of the United States that seemed incredible, but he actually means, like, I don't know, we're going to buy Greenland. Trumpo! We're just going to take it over. No, he doesn't really mean that. Yes, I do.
Canada would be a great 51st state.
Hey, Canada, what do you do? Oh, and isn't the dude coming to see us?
Yeah, tomorrow.
I think the liberal one, right?
Yep.
The new liberal guy. So he's coming to see Trump. He's probably going to, you know what he's going to do? He's going to act tough. He's going to act tough. I bet he's going to act tough. Nah. Roberta says, go, Murphy, go. Go where? Where do I have to? Go somewhere?
Break.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Roberta's got your back, Weber. It's 21 after the hour on Super Talk. How do you keep your important valuables secure from theft or from fire? If you live in Davidson County in Nashville, you understand the problems that come with crime, but even in the surrounding areas, you can understand it as well. Do you hide your items underneath your bed or in your closet, or do you secure your valuables by purchasing a quality safe from Nashville Safe House? That's the way that I would recommend you do it. Now, they have almost 200 safes right there in their showroom and almost 400 in their warehouses. That means that there is a safe, a size, a brand name for you at Nashville Safe House. Nashville Safe House has all the big brands like Browning, Fort Knox, Champion, Superior, Rhino. All of them are there at Nashville Safe House. They have vault doors as well. And if you're a business and you've got to secure valuables, or if you're in the upper echelon of Nashville society and you're looking to build a new home and you want a little vault door action, you need to get that inside before you get the build done. You need to go to Nashville Safe House for all of that. Nashville Safe House is the largest Browning dealer on planet Earth. I've been saying that for 2 years now. Nobody's challenged me on it, so I'm going to stick with it. On planet Earth. Go to NashvilleSafeHouse.com, or better yet, stop by on 4th Avenue South, just across the street from City Cemetery. See Mark and his team at Nashville Safe House.
Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell speaking out against that federal immigration enforcement operation over the weekend. That story and more at 3:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Y'all think I'm riled up now? Wait until I hear that audio.
Yeah.
Then it's going to get really good.
I was getting ready to say, right off the bat, you are Brother Murphy is he's going to have something to say.
I will say this because I noted, during the break there, I looked over at, I got the super text line up and running, and it's available to you at 615-737-9986. You can super text or you can call. Phone lines are always open on the Matt Murphy portion of the broadcast day from 3 until 7 o'clock, and I love talking with you. Whether you agree or disagree, as a matter of fact, disagreement goes to the front of the line. Chris Webber is the designated tell Murphy that this person disagrees guy. And then you jump to the front of the line. He says, hey, he disagrees with you, and go to the front of the line. Anyway, so if you disagree with me on the horse racing thing, look, I understand the beauty of the horse itself. And I understand that a lot of people come in at it very earnestly and very honestly. And I know that it bothers you that I cut down to the, hey, you got to watch the horse die too. But, understand the reality of what you're doing. I mean, as long as you understand the totality of all of it, then and you're cool with it, that's fine. I will say this. One thing that I do, I am fascinated with Secretariat. I am fascinated with the horse Secretariat. And every year around Derby time, I will go back and watch. I don't think it wasn't his Kentucky Derby victory. Which one did he win by 31 lengths? I think that was the Belmont, the last one, if I'm not mistaken, to finish the Triple Crown. It's the one where the announcer said, Secretariat is like a giant machine.
It was Belmont.
It was Belmont. Mm-hmm. When he completed the Triple Crown and won by 31 lengths. And the jockey was accused of running Secretariat too hard, because the idea is if you're that far ahead, why are you trying to get more ahead? Calm down, let the horse take a break. And he was asked, it was like, were you whipping? And he's like, I didn't touch him. Because if you want the horse to go faster, you whip the horse with your little crop. And if you're all good, you leave him be. And he was like, I didn't touch him. He wanted to run. I let him run. In other words, the horse was doing the race management. I don't know. It's fascinating. So I understand the fascination, but I still don't, it's not for me. Maybe it's for Susan. I don't know. Hey, Susan, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
I'll try to make this really quick. I love all the topics that you talked about for your show.
Thank you.
All of it, including all the liberal and the feds getting this. Let me just tell you something. I just recently moved to Adairville, Kentucky, and it's just north of Springfield. So I've been a horse lover my whole life. I come from the projects of Chicago. There was no chance I was ever going to find a horse there. In my later years in life, a dream come true. I bought a horse. She was a racehorse. I bought her. She was a rescue. Bought her off the track from someone that rescued her. And then I turned her into a hunter jumper. So racehorses turn into beautiful, hunter jumpers. Okay. So if you got rid of horses, you'd be getting rid of, and I don't know that that's your argument, but the entire state of Kentucky is a horse industry and a bourbon industry, and the two are beautiful together, I'd have to say. But there is an entire industry, and the top 10% of horses make it to the Derby. 90% don't. Yes, some end up dead, a lot of them end up rescued because things have become very much more humane. People like me that want them for hunter jumpers, So there is a lot of rescue going on. It's not like the old days at all. But you would have to get rid of an awful lot. The corruption breaks my heart. And I can't gamble on horses. I'm not a gambler because I want all of them to win, And I followed Secretariat. I was 10 years old when Secretariat ran all three races, and I watched all three of them. And horses, they're either in your blood or they're not, because it's blood, sweat, and tears. I was injured on a regular basis just getting my horse packed up, So it's either in your blood or it's not. But you would have to remove the entire state of Kentucky off the map.
Well, Susan, let me just make sure you understand. So the only point I'm making is that the only reason we race horses is because of gambling. Period.
It's not, though.
It is.
It's not.
Yeah, it most certainly is. I mean, Susan, I know you don't want to believe that, but I'm telling you, the only reason we have structured races on the level that we have structured races in the United States of America is because of gambling. If gambling ceased to exist, these horse races would cease to exist.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you. I lived in Las Vegas 23 years, so I completely understand the gambling end of it. So the Kentucky Derby is the oldest sporting event in our history.
And it's been a gambling event since its inception.
Yeah, and the reason for the gambling is just like anything else. Man brings corruption. And it's just like the Super Bowl. People bet on the Super Bowl, too.
Well, Susan, until man came around, I didn't see these horses getting together and organizing races on their own.
No. No, I mean, we've domesticated.
I'm messing with you, Susan. I'm sorry.
No.
I don't mean to
But
mess
no,
with you.
it's okay. I am a horse lover. I understand the corruption.
I love them, too.
I hate it myself.
I love them, too.
Yeah, I hate the gambling. But we would be remiss without horses around. And let me just say something, and I'll let you go after
very quickly. I got to go.
Horse racing is an analogy of real life. They didn't ask to be put in it. They were born and bred for it. They're put and schooled on a racetrack and then go and run against everybody around you. It really is indicative of this life. You're released into this life. Someone's smacking you to get going and pull your act together.
And if you hurt yourself along the way, they shoot you and kill you and throw you out. Yeah, I got to go, Susan. I got to go. I love you, Susan. I don't disagree with the analogy. And if it's true, I say put your money on Ken Weaver in the newsroom.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Right now in Nashville.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us on short notice. This is a tough moment, and I am heartbroken that today many of our neighbors in Nashville are experiencing fear over family separation rather than the safety we all deserve.
As Mayor Freddie O'Connell says his office and Metro Legal are working to get a list of names and charges of people detained during what the Tennessee Highway Patrol says was a public safety operation in areas that are known for terrible crashes, serious crashes, but also possible gang activity. It also involved federal immigration enforcement personnel, ICE.
What we saw over the weekend was actions that happen on state routes with no coordination with local officials. So
Tennessee Highway Patrol says the public safety operation resulted in a number of arrests for things like illegal guns and drugs, but that ICE handled the situation that involved people who could not prove that they are legal residents of this country. The Trump administration now says it will offer $1,000 if illegal immigrants deport themselves. The Department of Homeland Security says people would get that money after returning to their home country. By the way, they'd get a free plane ticket to get out. And the Trump administration is set to begin collecting defaulted government student loan payments starting today. The Department of Education says 5 million borrowers are in default after not making payment of their government student loans for at least 90 days. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. That's my turn. Stalled vehicle, right lane block, Briley Parkway northbound, just past McGavock Pike. Then in Whites Creek, we got a stalled vehicle, but this one's off on the shoulder. Still got to slow down to get around it. 24 westbound past Old Hickory Boulevard. And then in Berry Hill, got debris across the two right lanes of 65 northbound past Armory Drive. Traffic every 10 minutes, every morning on Super Talk. 99.7 WTN.
When you book your appointment with Shane Ring and Cover Nash, Shane is going to go over all of the available health plan options on the market today. Why is this important? Because from the jump, you understand that Shane Ring is working for you. Shane Ring is not working for an insurance company. Sadly, a lot of these health plan agents, they do work for insurance companies. And I say it sadly because they are designed to direct you toward an insurance plan that might not be right for you. With Shane Ring, he is open to all of the insurance options, and you are the customer, not the insurance company, which is to your benefit because Shane is going to find the right plan for you. He's going to show you how to access in real time the cost of medical procedures in the Nashville area. He's going to figure out what plan works for you for your healthcare needs and what is the best option for you from a financial perspective. I've sat down in Shane's office, and he is great at what he does. He's right there in Brentwood. You can sit down with him in person, or you can do this over the phone. Save right now by calling Shane Ring and Cover Nash. Go to covernash.com. That's covernash.com or 615-465-0023. 465-0023. It's Shane Ring and Cover Nash. United Structural Systems is a foundation, repair, and waterproofing company, and they've been serving Middle Tennessee since 1994, 31 years now, and almost 30,000 satisfied residential customers. It's simple what they do. They make sure that the foundation of your home that you live in is A-OK. Without the proper foundation, you could be living on a ticking time bomb in terms of waterproofing issues or foundation issues that are going to lead to major problems and major expense. If you've noticed some of the telltale signs like stair-step cracks in masonry or walls bowing, doors sticking, windows sticking, these are signs that you need to make the call that so many others have made. And when they come to your home, they are problem solvers. They're not there to upsell you on anything. They're to identify issues and address them on the front end as opposed to on the back end. It's what they do at USS, United Structural Systems. Go online, I should say, to USSTN.com. That's USSTN.com, or call today, 615-488-7855, 488-7855 for USS. Super Talk 99.7 WTN, Matt Murphy. Man, it's already 20 until 4 o'clock. Time flies when you're having a good time. Donald Trump seems to be having a good time. We'll get back into Freddie-O in a moment. Ken Weaver has those Freddie-O clips. And, Ken, I might lean on you to share. I want to play a game here in a couple of minutes, and we might do it after the 4 o'clock hour, where Ken plays a random Freddie O'Connell clip, and then Matt Murphy reacts to it.
Okay.
That should be fun.
I'm looking forward to that.
But right now, you know how we used to play? Y'all ever play bingo?
Oh, bingo.
You know, you play bingo where you got the little bingo card, and then you don't know what you got, and then somebody goes B41, and I hate bingo, whatever it is, and then people yell bingo. I thought we'd play a game of Trumpo. That's right. It's time to play America's favorite new game. It's called Trumpo. With your favorite host, your president, 4547, DJT, Donald J. Trump. So, did anybody have Alcatraz on their Trumpo card? Nobody? Because if you did, you're a big winner. See, Donald Trump doesn't drink, but he comes up with these ideas as if he does. And I say that in love. I love the man. I love the chaos. But some of these ideas, he's like, you know what would really freak him out? Hey, Ken, let's turn Gulf of Mexico into Gulf of America. What do you think? What do you think, Trumpo? Trumpo! Oh, hey, here's something that'll get him. America's hat, Canada. Let's just say it's the 51st state. Trumpo! You know what we should do? We should reopen. You want to reopen Alcatraz? Let's reopen Alcatraz. Trumpo! It's like, and I'm just, so you got, the 51st state. You got Alcatraz, Greenland. Greenland was a big one. Trumpo. Gulf of America. I mean, I'm trying to think of what else he could do to troll the liberals. Like, we renamed Denali. Remember when there was a big deal when Obama was president that Denali was going to be Denali? Mount McKinley was going to be Denali. We're going to rename it McKinley. You know why? My mama called it Kinley. I'm going to call it Kinley. Rename it Mount McKinley. Let's go. Trumpo! It's like we're calling out the letters. Like B41. It's like R. You impressed? Are you impressed with Trumpo? You should be impressed with Trumpo. You can't believe what he did this weekend. He was the Pope. It's a master class in trolling the political left. It really is. And over the weekend, Donald Trump decided we're going to play a little Trumpo, and we're going to open up Alcatraz. So technically, Donald Trump can open up Alcatraz as a prison again. Technically. Although he will run into, if anybody wants to take this seriously, and I've learned over the years, don't take the man lightly when he says these things. I'm old enough to remember back in 2016 when Donald Trump went on national television and told everyone that the FBI was spying on him in Trump Tower. And the political left laughed their butts off. And the mainstream media just pointed their fingers and went, look at this joker. He's ha, ha, ha. What? It's true? Yeah, it was true. It was all true. The FBI spied on American citizens, specifically Carter Page, but others, in Trump Tower during the presidential campaign. The FBI did that. The FBI did that. A guy got arrested and prosecuted. Y'all know a guy pled guilty, and many believe that he did so to protect his bosses. A guy with the FBI pled guilty to falsifying the FISA warrant that led to wiretapping in Trump Tower, right? So everything that Trump said at the time was true. So you really shouldn't take some of the things he says lightly, because sometimes he's serious, sometimes not so much. Like, oh yeah, that was another one. Can I get a little applause for Trumpo? I'm gonna third term, Donald Trump, third term, Trumpo. Are you impressed? I think you are. It's Trumpo. It's the worst Trump on the history of the earth. It's awful. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if Sean Farish is listening. I apologize, Sean. I would get you to do it, but oh wait, no. 68 says my impersonation is impressive. I disagree. I think I'm doing a pretty good job of the guy that's doing Trump on Saturday Night Live now, the guy with the big nose.
Yep.
I think I do a pretty good job of impersonating him, impersonating Trump.
Yeah, I could see that.
You've got to do, when you do Trump, the only way to do it is with the hands. You've got to do the hands. The hands, it's like the elbows are attached to the rib cage, and from there you can do a little string action, but that's about it. That's all I got. Laughing about Donald Trump's better than screaming about Freddie O'Connell for most of us. I don't know. But, so Trump this weekend said that Alcatraz was a possibility. Look, the problem is that it was designated as a national landmark. And so, if y'all want to take it seriously, we can take it seriously. So, he could do it, but he would have to get over the lawsuits that would be filed based on the fact that it's been declared a national landmark. He called for the reopening of the prison on Truth Social. It is, however, federal property, so it can be done. But according to Greg Jarrett, a legal correspondent with Fox News, former general counsel of the Navy, they discussed this possibility this morning on Fox and Friends. And Jarrett said, so liberals' heads are exploding, obviously, because they don't like prisons. Progressives frown on incarcerating people that violate the law, right? They tend to favor, daycare and, release of our own recognizances and that sort of thing. But it is federal property, so the president could redesignate it as an actual prison, but you would have to rebuild the whole thing because the whole thing, it doesn't work anymore. It's an antiquated. Has anybody ever been to Alcatraz?
I have not.
Have you been to California?
I have.
Ken, have you been to California?
To that area, though.
I have never been to California.
I've never been to California either. But you got to Idaho.
I got to Idaho, and I've been in Oregon.
Yeah.
I was close to California, but I never actually crossed the border.
Smell kept you away, probably.
No.
What's that? Hippies.
I was going
Get out of
someplace else.
Get out of here.
Whew, it smells like it.
I don't know. The smell of Northern California probably attract me nowadays. Y'all know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Not just the vino anymore up there. I've never been to Washington, Oregon, or California. I've been as far as Nevada and Arizona, New Mexico, and all of that. But I've never been to Idaho. I'd kind of like to go to Idaho, Ken.
It's beautiful.
I hear. That's what I hear. I hear go in the dead of winter, right? That's what I'm told.
Was that like June?
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, I'll never forget it.
So I can't say that I've been, but I would love, I'm fascinated with the old history, and I'm fascinated with the idea that the three dudes that escaped, it's like three of them, right? Escaped from Alcatraz. Clint Eastwood was
I just know Eastwood was, yeah.
Eastwood was one of them.
Mm-hmm. Little mannequin head in the bed. Love it.
Oh man, I remember that.
Love that.
I love that. Oh, yeah, because they paper mached it.
Yep.
And then they put the
little vent cover, paper mache that to hide the hole they had dug.
And then and what they make the raft out of? It was some sort of plastic.
It was raincoats.
Raincoats.
Yep.
That's right. And blew them up. Mm-hmm. And then they never found them, Ken.
Yeah.
Never found them.
They found remnants.
Oh.
But you know how they do. They left those remnants behind to get the cops off their trail.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Right. Shred a couple raincoats, and then the cops think you died, and you didn't really die, but actually they probably died.
Sharks got him.
Yeah, probably so. It's kind of like D.B. Cooper. When I was a kid, I was fascinated with the Alcatraz people, and I was fascinated with D.B. Cooper. Mainly because I saw that.
Cocaine Bear?
Never saw Cocaine Bear.
Oh, you need to see that.
There was a D.B. Cooper movie that was on like some pay channel. And I'll tell you why what led to my fascination of D.B. Cooper. True story. I wouldn't lie to you guys. This movie was on, and it speculated what happened if he survived or whatever. And at the end of it, he was with a hot chick in a pickup truck, and she got in his lap. And they started having some fun in the front seat of that pickup truck, and they were driving down the road, and that was kind of the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And
good ending. I like it.
I thought it was a great ending too, and I thought that was the best way to ride into the sunset, if you know what I mean. And I loved that movie. I was like 12 years old going, wow.
I want to be like DB.
I want to be D.B. Cooper. D.B. Cooper, that's kind of whether he survived or not, that's kind of badass, right?
That's a plan. That's one way to go about it.
Look, I'm not suggesting that you rob people of their hard-earned cash or whatever, but back in the day, to get on the plane, get the plane down, get everybody off the plane, take it back up, give me some money, and we're going to go here, and then before you know it, I'm out.
Yeah.
We're just going to jump out of the plane.
Pretty cool.
In the mid, we're like 10,000, I think they were like 8,000 feet, something like that. We're just going to jump out of the plane.
Mm-hmm.
With $200,000, Ken.
Yeah.
Just jumping out of the plane.
Cocaine money.
Come on. Anyway, Alcatraz is a national treasure that I want to see. Al Capone, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think it works as a prison system anymore, but, the man's had stranger ideas. He does want to make Canada our 51st state. Hello, Larry. What's going on?
Hey, brother. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, of course.
You covered you've covered so many subjects, it's hard to just keep up. On the horse racing, I was a very active redheaded child. I know it's hard for you to believe, but they used to set me on horses to break them when I was 6 years old because they knew I would just sit on any, I'd just do, you know. And I had an Indian pony darn near kill me because the saddle wasn't tight enough. He starts trotting, my saddle starts sliding off, my boot gets stuck in the stirrup, and he drags me like 300 feet. But anyway, the horse racing thing is the same with the greyhound racing. And the way they treat those animals if they don't win is absolutely horrendous. I have a 97-pound greyhound that was rescued, and that's a huge greyhound, by the way.
I just, and people are responding, and I get it. I mean, look, it is where I'm at on it. I don't think we need to necessarily exploit animals for our own pleasure anymore. I'm kind of against all animal sporting at this point. I think we can enjoy animals and love animals and have an appreciation for horses and everything else without. So I'm not announcing a huge ban on it. I'm just telling you where I'm at on it. I'm uncomfortable going to the circus, and I mean they don't do these types of circuses anymore, but with the elephants and the tigers and all that, because those animals don't go back and live on some huge farm anymore. They go into a cattle car and go to the next stop. So there was
the greyhounds. They would bring out kill trucks at the greyhound tracks, and they would kill 50 or 60 a day.
The dog racing was back in the day used to be awful. Cockfighting used to be awful. Dog fighting. Yeah. I mean, So I mean, and Larry, thank you for the call. I got to move, but it's just, and people always get on me. Oh, Murphy, no, I don't want to do anything. I'm not here announcing that we're declaring a moratorium on anything. I'm just telling you where I'm at on it. It just makes me uncomfortable. Circuses used to make me uncomfortable because I don't like the way they treat the animals. And we don't need them anymore. There was a time back in the 1800s where we didn't have any entertainment. I got TV now. I got a zoo now, right? The zoo does it the right way for the most part. So, horse racing exists because of gambling. And if y'all don't want to believe that, that's fine, but it's true. 54 after the hour on Super Talk. Friends, my name is Matt Murphy, and in honor of our 47th president of the United States of America, the Wellness Institute of Nashville is offering 47% off their non-surgical spinal decompression. It's the big 47 offer in 2025. Folks, here's the deal. When it comes to your health and well-being, you want to try to get to the root of the problem as non-intrusive as possible, right? Dr. Mitchell and Dr. Ashley understand that. And they're not giving up on the idea of getting to the root of your pain without having to consider surgical options. Now, sometimes that's the only option for you. But for the most part, there are options available for you like spinal decompression. The non-surgical option can get healing to the source of the pain. And Dr. Mitchell and Dr. Ashley are so good. They are the experts at identifying where you hurt and figuring out how to get to the source of that pain and alleviating it so you can live your life again. That's what it's all about. Go to painisbad.com because it is. Painisbad.com or give a call to 615-246-5009. 246-5009. I've made the switch and I want you to as well. To the Wellness Institute of Nashville. I'm Matt Murphy and I put my seal of approval on the Wellness Institute of Nashville.
4 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Right now in Nashville, Mayor Freddie O'Connell says his office and Metro Legal working to get a list of names and charges against the people detained by federal immigration enforcement officials over the weekend.
What's clear is that federal and state authorities are intent on enforcing immigration law. Their approach is not our understanding of what a Nashville for all of us looks like.
Well, Tennessee Highway Patrol says it conducted a public safety operation along with Immigration and Customs Enforcement in areas where there have been serious crashes and possible gang activity. They were in the Antioch area surrounding Nolensville Pike and Harding Place. The operation involved 150-plus traffic stops, and witnesses say maybe hundreds detained last Saturday night into early Sunday morning. President Trump today speaking about his administration's plan to offer money to undocumented immigrants to self-deport.
We're going to pay each one a certain amount of money, and we're going to get them a beautiful flight back to where they came from, and they have a period of time.
And the Department of Homeland Security announced that those who want to self-deport must use the Customs and Border Patrol Home app, return to their home country, and then they'll receive a $1,000 stipend. And then later,
maybe someday, with a little work, they can come back in if they're good people.
Starting this week, you better start paying back those student loan payments that were frozen in the pandemic, says Sherry Preston.
5 million borrowers are either in default or not making payments on their student loans. But this week, the Trump administration began the process for them to resume. If you aren't sure if you're in default or not.
A credit score drop is the first sign that you might, be behind on your student loan. So even borrowers who are delinquent, which is not as serious as default, can face significant credit score drops.
MarketWatch's Jillian Berman says the best thing to do is check your account at studentaid.gov. If you are in default and don't pay, the government could take money out of your wages, your Social Security payments, or any tax refunds. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Officials in Southern California actively searching for missing people on a suspected human smuggling boat.
Tanga-style boats are commonly used to smuggle humans and drugs into San Diego County from Mexico. They are long, skinny wood or metal boats. They've got a motor in the back. On Monday morning, one came ashore near Del Mar, north of the city of San Diego, and the Coast Guard says 3 people were found dead. 9 more are unaccounted for. There were 4 survivors who needed medical aid. It's been cold and somewhat stormy for the past couple of days. It's unclear if that played a role out on the water. Alex Stone, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, just a few things to mention on your way home. Looks like we got a crash reported by police, 40 eastbound at the Elm Hill Pike overpass. Then 40 eastbound near Spence Lane. The right lane is blocked by a stalled vehicle. Got a crash reported by police, 65 southbound at Trinity Lane. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Weather can change in an instant, and you need to be prepared for any outcome. That's why Generator Supercenter of Nashville will help keep your family safe and connected. We make buying a backup generator simple and easy, with financing options available, free in-home estimate, turnkey installations, no worry warranty, and most importantly, the monitoring and service of your fully installed generator. Come see us at our location in Nashville or visit us online. Generator Supercenter of Nashville. We serve all Middle Tennessee.
It is 6 minutes after 4 o'clock. My name is Matt Murphy, and I got all kind of people upset at me. The liberals are mad at me for having the audacity to believe in the rule of law. The horse racing enthusiasts are after me for saying that I don't care for it that much and horses have to get killed. I had my years wrong. I do have to correct myself. It was 2023, which was officially, quote, last year until, like, Saturday. So my bad on that. But it was 2023 where they killed 12 horses in the 10 days around the Kentucky Derby.
Wow.
It was
I had
12
no
of
idea.
Them, 12 of them total. Last year, there were only 6 killed total at Churchill Downs in the year 2024. So they improved it a lot better. But there's 6 down from the 2 weeks of the Derby where there were 12 killed. There were 2 that were euthanized on Derby Day in 2023. So none that we know of this year. So just wanted to correct that for those of you listening. Don't want to leave you with some bad stats there. I try to be accurate as we possibly can be. Look, I understand that many of you love horse racing. I get it. If you look at horses kind of like, I don't know, minks, then maybe that will help you out. I mean, minks are bred for coats. Horses are bred for our own enjoyment. And, you know, we can turn them into glue when we want to. I guess if you want to look at it that way, that's cool too. I look at horses a little bit differently. I mean, I think they're incredible. I think they're majestic. I think they're very useful. They have incredible uses beyond watching a horse race on a Saturday. Somebody did ask me this, and I'd never considered it. What about rodeos? And see, rodeos are, because I'm kind of against horse or animal-based sporting activities, like dog racing, horse racing. I'm absolutely against it. I mean, bullfighting is just barbaric. I mean, it is. I mean, y'all do you, but I see no pleasure out of sitting in an arena and watching human beings kill animals. I just don't. I don't. So
I thought we were supposed to pull for the bull.
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, if they were a little more, if they were a little more honest with their bullfights, I might go watch, because if you give the bull a legit shot at it, the bull can win, but they don't, sadly. So, but yes, I do root for the bulls. But rodeo's a little different, because rodeos are, I mean, a rodeo is an offshoot of like legitimate horsing activity that is utilitarian in its nature. I mean, we use horses for legitimate purposes, for cattle wrangling. I mean, cowboys, for goodness sake. So that's where a lot of, the steeplechase stuff comes from hunts, and a lot of the rodeo stuff comes from, the ability to wrangle cows, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, y'all have at it. I don't knock you for supporting any of it. I just tell you where I'm at on it. And then I get yelled at. I get told that I don't know what I'm talking about. The horses would not do the job if they didn't want to do the job, Matt. Matt actually doesn't have a clue what he's talking about. You can't make something that's 1,200 pounds do something they don't like. And they're not ever shot. I say shot. I always say shot because it shocks people. I think, and I don't think I said that they were shot. I said what they should do is, if you wanted to be more honest watching horse racing, when they have to put one down, the crowd should be made to watch them shoot the horse. And suddenly everybody's like, oh, oh, Murphy, you're so awful. I'm not the one doing any of this. I don't have anything to do with any of this. The horse is going to die one way or the other. The people should be expected to watch all that surrounds the activity that they're there to enjoy. Is there anything wrong with that?
Get the whole story.
You get the full picture.
Yeah.
You get to see the winners with the roses around their necks and trotting, and yeah, you won. Congratulations. Oh, look, here's the big loser. Pop. He gets popped. They are euthanized properly because there are always vets on the premises at all races before and after as well. Not nearly as many as you were saying get euthanized. However, they are very fragile creatures, but they also really enjoyed their job or they wouldn't be out there. I understand that horses are bred for racing. I don't want to belabor this point, but horses, like all God's creatures, run and frolic, and, you know, most mammals have moments of downtime, playtime, whatever. But the structured nature of horse racing is a man-made invention. Let's not get. I mean, horses don't race each other on their own, so let's not be foolish. If anything is sad, it's kill. Oh, this is the great turn. If anything, it's sad. It's killer whales and SeaWorld. I disagree with killer whales and SeaWorld as well, and I don't think there are any killer whales at SeaWorld anymore. I think they
quit doing that.
I think they stopped that because we established that it drove the whales insane, right?
Something like that.
I think it was well established. Which as well will not do the job if they're not liking it. Well, I mean, if you're taken from the ocean and put in a container that is a finite space, I mean, you can be trained, I suppose. You don't make any animal do something that they don't want to do easily, and over time the animal will stop doing it. Hence the reason horse races are then adopted into other disciplines that the horse may enjoy more. They're way too expensive not to have a job. They enjoy people. So I feel like look, y'all enjoy your horse racing. Don't let Matt Murphy ruin the fun by reminding you that the animals have to be killed from time to time if they hurt themselves. 12 minutes after the hour. All right, Ken, do you have some Freddie O'Connell audio for me?
I do. Are you ready?
All right, so for those who missed it, Donald Trump and his Immigration and Customs Enforcement Division paid a visit to Nashville, Tennessee over the weekend. We're going to talk about that visit paid and the coordination between the Immigration and Customs Enforcement and the Tennessee Highway Patrol in an action plan designed to get criminals off the street, and it was apparently pretty successful. This happened in the city of Nashville, and Mayor Freddie O'Connell, who can't make a decision on LPRs. I just want to make clear where we are on this. Mayor Freddie O'Connell, how long has he been mayor now? Almost 2 years? Can't make a decision on LPRs, license plate readers, just can't figure it out. Told me last week on this radio show that he was in favor of LPRs, that if he were in control, they'd be passed. But, that darn city council. Can't figure out FUSIS, can't figure out the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, can't figure out all of these issues. He sure as hell figured out how to raise the taxes on the people of Nashville. But on this issue of law and order, he's very, very concerned and offered an emergency press conference to address the plight of the illegal aliens in town. Ken Weaver has some delicious audio from Freddie O'Connell's press conference from earlier today. Let's go, Weaver.
This is a tough moment, and I am heartbroken that today many of our neighbors in Nashville are experiencing fear over family separation rather than the safety we all deserve.
I was sitting. I'm going to try to be calm. I don't want to start screaming and yelling. But this is in no way performative. It pisses me off, what he just said. You hear Freddie? I'm going to ask Ken to re-rack that. I want to play it again because y'all hear Freddie? I believe him. He sounds heartbroken. He was motivated enough that he got a dadgum press conference jiffy quick. And they're promoting raising money for these families of these individuals that are apparently in the United States of America illegally. Now, I don't have any – I want these people treated with compassion. Many of these folks, maybe they've not violated any other laws beyond their speeding infraction or their moving violation, and entering the United States of America illegally. Maybe they have. I don't know. I don't know who they are. Freddie doesn't either. But he mobilized within, 36 hours of these events and got himself a press conference going on today, y'all. Mobilized and got to the bottom of it and seems very, very upset by it. Let's listen to him one more time, Ken.
All right, sir. Let me get the right button pushed.
Here's Freddie O'Connell.
This is a tough moment, and I'm heartbroken that today many of our neighbors in Nashville are experiencing fear over family separation rather than the safety we all deserve.
He's heartbroken over the fear that many families experience. Did he express any level of heartbreak when he announced that there were families in the city of Nashville and in Davidson County that were not going to be able to afford to pay for their homes anymore next year? Was he heartbroken when he gleefully announced that the people that were protesting the property taxes outside of the Nashville Public Library last week, those were those MAGA folk who don't like progress, who don't want to see the city move forward, that they don't like anything, they're against everything? Remember when Freddie did that? Because I was in the audience when he indicated that, when he misrepresented the people who were protesting property tax increases. Did Freddie O'Connell bother? Was he heartbroken enough? Was he concerned enough about Davidson County residents last week when he announced a 27% property tax increase on the heels 4 years ago of a 34% property tax increase that is going to further push middle income and lower income Davidson County residents out of their homes, out of their communities, and into the suburbs? Did he express any concern over those people whatsoever? No. He did not. As a matter of fact, as I sat in the audience at the Nashville Public Library last Thursday, what I heard Freddie do was lambaste those people, complain about them, and then followed up to me saying, I don't like the sign holders. Did not bother to walk outside of the library and speak to one of them. Didn't bother. Because he's not concerned about them. He's concerned about the migrant population in the city and their well-being. Friends, I understand why many immigrants, illegal aliens from other parts of the world are here. I am not immune to the reasons why they would come here. I am well on record as saying that if I were from Mexico or Guatemala or Venezuela, you're damn right I'd come here. And I'd break the law to do it. If y'all let me. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Who wouldn't? Lie to me and tell me you wouldn't. Of course you would. When you are the shining example of freedom and opportunity around the globe, sad as it is, we would love, compassionate American people would love to let everyone in. I would love to let everyone in had we the ability. But we don't. Because everyone doesn't equate to the same nation that offers the opportunity and the blessings of freedom and the chance at that dream life if you allow everyone and anyone, including the bad guys, in. You have to have a managed approach. And you must consider the benefit to this country first and foremost. As sad as it is to say, we can't help everyone on the globe. Otherwise, it would be similar to Chris Webber and Ken Weaver and Matt Murphy rowing in a boat, right? We're rowing in a boat. And we see a boat that has capsized and there's 50 people all panicking. If we row our boat over there, what is the likelihood that we're going to drown to? Probably good. You have to weigh the opportunity to save a few versus the danger of getting taken under with the rest. And under the Biden administration, it's exactly what happened. They allowed all of the doors open. And did we not see the damage? Did some people just interested in a better life come through our southern border during the Biden administration? Yes, they did. I mean, and we're lying if we said they didn't. Now, they violated the law. And understand, we're a nation of the rule of law, so we must downshift always to follow the rule of law. But we're lying to ourselves if we say that there are not some good people that there but for the grace of God go I, that if I had the opportunity to make a better life for myself and my family, I would do it. So I don't begrudge those people in as much as they understand what they're doing. They understand the risk that they're taking. But they, as a group of liberal lawmakers, have taken up the opinion that it is somehow wrong to follow the rule of law because we must put compassion before the law. We must put emotion, but that's not a way to run a city. That's not a way to run a state, and that's not a way to run a country. It's a way to run them into the ground. Freddie, here's what I would suggest you do. I would suggest you hold an emergency press conference. And I would suggest that you explain to us that from now on in the city of Nashville and in Davidson County, when people steal things, we're going to evaluate whether they really needed it or not. And if we determine that the people that go into Walmart and are stealing groceries are doing so just because they really need it, we're going to allow that one to slide. And, people need other things, too, like cell phones, because you got to have a cell phone to get along in this world nowadays. So Freddie's going to decide that if people are stealing things that are truly necessary to get along in their lives, we're going to suspend the laws against property theft for those folks, because, after all, who doesn't have compassion for these people? And if the homeless break into empty rental apartments or houses and they squat there, they're homeless. Let's let them stay, and let's forgive the violation of that property crime, because after all, they really need a place to live. Does that sound foolish to you, Freddie? Sure does to me. It's 23 after the hour on Super Talk. Hello, friends. Let's talk about Dickens Turf and Landscape for a moment. They are your full-service Toro dealer. It's already mowing season, and they, at Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply, understand when it's time to replace that old mower, you can do so at Dickens with a brand-new Toro mower. They've stocked up on Toro time cutters, Toro Titans, Toro Z Master mowers, and they're looking to make a deal on these things through the end of May, as a matter of fact. So you got a couple of months. You got like 25 days or so. You can get up to $1,500 off select Toro zero-turn mowers, as a matter of fact. $1,500 off. Toro, count on that. Now, you can go where the pros go, too. Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply, if you're looking for quality parts and products, the best advice you've ever had in your life when it comes to lawn and landscaping, visit your one-stop Toro shop, that is Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. I mean, obviously, spring has sprung, and they offer professional advice. If you're having trouble with portions of your lawn already and you've noticed it, go to Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply and allow them to assist you in terms of that knowledge and information. Whether you're trimming bushes, cutting grass, or just trying to keep weeds and insects off your lawn and your landscaping, they've got it all at Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. And 7 different locations to serve in Nashville, Bellevue, Murfreesboro, Brentwood, Hendersonville, Mount Juliet, and Franklin. Go to DickensSupply.com. That's DickensSupply.com. All right, so it's Mother's Day week, and for those of you with a mama to attend to, it's time to get to Genesis Diamonds and do that attending. Now, maybe some of you fellas out there, you've got a brand new mama in your life because you got a brand new baby in your life. That means you need to get something for mama from Genesis Diamonds, whether it's her first Mother's Day or her 61st Mother's Day. Let's get mother something that she will love, cherish, hold dear, and talk about for years and years to come. Genesis has put together an incredible selection of Mother's Day gifts that are both affordable and stylish. They have something for every budget. Genesis Diamonds works on a non-commission basis. That's important to them because they want you to feel comfortable when you walk into the showroom, either in Green Hills or Cool Springs, and you talk to one of their sales associates. They can help you pick out the perfect gift and stay in your budget. Or if you really want to splurge, check out their amazing selection of ladies' pre-owned Rolex watches. How about that for Mother's Day? Now, that is a gift that she's going to talk about for a long, long time. Genesis Diamonds, go see my friends at Genesis. Tell them Matt Murphy sent you. Genesis Diamonds and luxury pre-owned Rolexes. 2 locations, Green Hills and Cool Springs. It's the one and only Genesis Diamonds.
Nashville's mayor and others speaking out against illegal immigration enforcement detentions in Nashville. This story and more coming up at 4:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I just got a note. Hey, Matt, dogs are bred for our enjoyment, too. I know that. I don't believe in dog racing either. I never said that I didn't believe in horse breeding. I don't believe in horse racing. I'm not here to stop it. It's not a fight. It's not a hill that I'm going to die on. I just tell you how I feel about it. It's a kind of a once-a-year topic right around the Kentucky Derby. Everybody's having a good time. Everybody's drinking mint juleps. Everybody's getting a little drunk. Everybody wants their horse to win. They pay no attention to it, you know. Well, it's an industry that's based on the gambling, and you know, it can be deadly. That's all. That's all I'm saying. 615-737-9986 if you'd like to get in on this conversation. 615-737-9986. Our nebbish mayor is a disgrace, writes 4326, to real Americans. Maybe he wants the illegals here to finally achieve that 10% rider bus usage. Hey, Ken, was that the only clip we had? Did we have another one?
No, there are others.
Okay. Maybe we maybe share one or two more after the break. And I'm curious if folks are just annoyed by this as I am, because the local response to this has been to say we're as fired up as you guys. We can't believe that there were U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement and the Tennessee Highway Patrol carrying out an operation yesterday that led to arrest and seizure of illegal drugs and weapons. We're just as horrified as you guys, says Freddie O'Connell. He mobilized a press conference like 24 hours after this happened. This same dude can't manage to 80% of Davidson County residents say they want license plate readers. 80% say they want license plate readers. Freddie O'Connell claims on my radio show that he wants license plate readers. I nailed him down on it. Hey, if you were the decider, would you do it? Yes, he said. But you don't have the leadership skills to bring the contracts and get that passed? You say you want it. You say it's a tool that Chief Drake wants in his arsenal. In the meantime, like 36, 48 hours after you claim that you wanted it, you come before the public in Nashville and talk about how sad you are that criminal lawbreakers have been arrested. Oh, I'm so sad. The fear. If you're wanted by the authorities, shouldn't you have a little fear that you're going to get caught by them? It's 30 after the hour on Super Talk.
4:30 on the dot I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories, and we've got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. And right now in Nashville, Mayor Freddie O'Connell says his office is looking into ICE taking people into custody over the weekend in Nashville.
This is a tough moment, and I am heartbroken that today many of our neighbors in Nashville are experiencing fear over family separation rather than the safety we all deserve.
Well, the Tennessee Highway Patrol says it, along with federal immigration authorities, conducted a public safety operation late Saturday into early Sunday morning in areas where there have been serious crashes and possible gang activity. We're talking about Antioch, along Nolensville Pike and Harding Place. They made 150-plus traffic stops, they say, for traffic violations, and then federal authorities handled any immigration issues. Now the Tennessee Immigration and Refugee Rights Coalition telling people to report any federal immigration enforcement activity.
We urge community members to stay informed, to report ICE activity to trusted immigrant organizations, and to lean on each other in this time of fear and uncertainty.
Now, Metro Legal says it's requesting the Highway Patrol provide a list of names of everyone detained and the charges against them, and says it will ask ICE for the same. Trump administration set to begin collecting defaulted government student loan payments starting today. The Department of Education says 5 million borrowers are in default, and the government can now take payment from borrowers' tax refunds, wages, or send the debt to collections. And the sex trafficking and racketeering trial of rap mogul Sean Diddy Combs underway in New York City today.
It's such an incredible cross-section of lives. There's one woman who remains on the jury pool who said her ex-husband served time for attempted murder. And there's one guy who was pulled over by the police once and said he does not trust law enforcement because he believes officers have their own agenda. He was excused from the jury pool. So this is how it's going until they can get 45 jurors to question more in depth. That will probably begin starting sometime tomorrow.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. In Antioch, got a crash blocking the left lane, 24 eastbound, right before Hickory Hollow Parkway, and police reporting a crash. Too. TDOT and police reporting that crash there at exit 70 going eastbound on 24. Then we got a stalled vehicle. Police say this is blocking the right lane, 40 eastbound near Spence Lane. Traffic every 10 minutes, every morning on Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for U.S. Pest. Now, if I talk about bug killing, that's probably a subject. Maybe we don't disagree, or maybe we disagree a little bit on the horse subject, but on the bug subject, I think we're all in agreement, right? Bugs are unnecessary because we've got the people in place to handle the bugs, and yeah, we got U.S. Pest. U.S. Pest can take care of those bugs that give you the creeps, that want to take over your home, bugs that are on your property right now breeding, making more little bugs. I'm talking ticks, I'm talking fleas, I'm talking spiders, I'm talking roaches, I'm talking the rest of it. And if you've got a problem, you need to call the best. And the best is U.S. Pest. J.K. and Erica Brister, they love just about everybody, and they can't stand pests, which is why through their leadership and their tutelage, U.S. Pest is growing by leaps and bounds in Middle Tennessee, and they want to make you the next completely satisfied customer. 590-1260 for a free home inspection. 590-1260. If you're unsatisfied with your current pest protection, let's get with the best. Let's get with U.S. Pest. Online at uspest.com. That's uspest.com. It is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We'll get to your calls momentarily. Give us a dial, 615-737-9986. Any thoughts on Feckless Freddie? Feckless Freddie. Got a ring to it. Feckless Freddie O'Connell and his and some of his comments made at his press conference earlier today. In just a moment, Ken Weaver's going to Ken Weaver's not going to annoy me. Ken Weaver is going to, at my request, play a piece of audio that I know is going to annoy me, which is another piece of audio from Freddie O'Connell that Ken Weaver lifted earlier today from the press conference that Freddie whipped together in about 24-hour time frame. But before we do that, I don't know if over in the newsroom this is making headlines over there, Ken.
What is it?
But it's making headlines over here. Up in here in the talk studios of Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
What is it, brother?
We've got some breaking news that I think Chris Webber will be interested in. Oh, thank you. Breaking news time from the studios of Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Have y'all heard about this this quarterback that is playing for Nashville Christian that is the #1 prospect in the 2026 class? Did y'all hear about this guy?
I haven't heard about him.
This fella. He's a fella by the name of Jared Curtis.
#1 in the entire class.
#1 in the United States of America in the quarterback position, Ken Weaver.
And he's going to Georgia.
Hold on, Ken. Nobody said that just yet.
Well, you already brought Brother Chris into it. I know what's going on.
Ah, we got him, Weber! We got him! #1! He has committed, has Jared Curtis, to the University of Georgia Bulldogs. Committed to Georgia just now, earlier today, at a ceremony at Nashville Christian School. He was the first commitment for the 2026 class back in March of 2024, and he's reasserted here in May of 2025 his commitment to attend the University of Georgia. And no doubt, to lead the Bulldogs to victory on the field in Athens and beyond, Jared Curtis.
I always knew I liked that kid.
Oh, man, he's always impressed me.
Yep.
Every time I've spoken with him, every time, and to watch him play, I don't think he's made a mistake anytime I've ever seen him play.
Yeah.
I can't recall one.
I would say the same.
Other than committing to Georgia.
Hey, I heard that people were that Oklahoma, by the way, Ken Weaver, a sexy pick to be the most. I'm not making this up. I'm being serious. I saw this over the weekend. I thought of you.
All right.
Oklahoma Sooners, most improvement in the SEC and possibly the nation. Sexy pick for that next year.
How in the world?
Based on that quarterback, man.
Oh.
Based on that QB, Bruce Venables is getting the job done. He's worried about getting fired.
I'll see it whenever it happens.
All right.
It's like I tell all my Sooner friends, stop listening to all this preseason talk. Oh, he's really turning heads.
That's what I hear.
What do you mean, running around in a helmet and no pads throwing the ball? What, did he interrupt a prayer meeting?
When was the last national championship?
2000.
2000.
Yeah, we lost 2.
See, I remember feeling this way, Weber. Do you remember feeling this way like 4 years ago?
Yep.
It's like it's never going to happen again. Oh, my Lord, look around us. Close but no cigar kind of thing. Oh, that's tough living.
Distant memory now.
Yeah, whatever.
I just
2 and 4. That's all I know.
I don't like all that preseason hype.
You don't like all that?
No, I heard about it last year. Oh, we're in the SEC now, boy. You better look out for Oklahoma. What did we do? Went 6-6, and then lost to Navy in the bowl game.
I'm also hearing one of the hardest schedules in the United States of America.
Oh, well, that definitely is. They didn't do us any favors.
Well. We were done no favors last year, and everybody's acting like our schedule's easy this year because we have Ole Miss, Alabama, and Texas at home. Oh, because those will be a breeze.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're home games.
They're home games. Might as well just give us the W. Yeah. It's just Texas and Arch Manning, whatever.
The only break Oklahoma got is we didn't have to play Georgia.
Well, it's coming. It's coming back. I think the last time we played Oklahoma was
at Rose Bowl.
That was that Rose Bowl, wasn't it?
Boy, that was a heck of a game.
That was such a. I don't bring it up to rub it in, but man, that was an awful first half. Awful first half.
Second half, different story.
Second half was better.
Well, then you had our coach decide to do a squib kick going into halftime, and that fella who wore the big goggles for Georgia just kicked a 55-yard field goal.
Oh, Nico Blankenship, who's now, I think Blankenship's now playing for the Birmingham Stallions, I think.
Yeah.
He got booted out of the NFL. Those glasses didn't help him make kicks, apparently, in the NFL.
I thought, yeah, Lincoln, you're going to fool Kirby.
Is it Nico Blankenship? Am I saying that right?
No, Hot Rod. Rodrigo.
Rodrigo Blankenship. Why did I say Nico?
Rodrigo.
Nico's a dirty word in Tennessee now, right?
Yes, it is. Be careful.
Can't say all that.
I tell you what, I am looking forward to Fat Bowl season, though.
Approaching 100 days, Ken.
Can't freaking wait.
Approaching 100 days out from kick. How about that? About to get into double digits. Ken is in Murfreesboro. Oh, wait, before you do it, Ken. All right, Ken Weaver.
Okay.
Tick me off. Play me something.
Okay, here's another cut from Mayor Freddie O'Connell speaking out against the ICE detentions in Nashville over the weekend.
What we saw over the weekend was actions that happen on state routes with no coordination with local officials. So, yes, I continue to be concerned about the mechanism for these actions, and I think what they've demonstrated is that they can occur at times and locations of their choosing without our involvement.
Then we had this. Let's see here. Tennessee Immigration and Refugee Rights Coalition asking people to keep an eye out for ICE enforcement in Nashville.
We urge community members to stay informed, to report ICE activity to trusted immigrant organizations, and to lean on each other in this time of fear and uncertainty.
What? So we've gotten to a fear and uncertainty. We've gotten to a point where the political left, the Freddie O'Connells of the world, I want to try to strip away this emotion. I mean, Freddie sounds more emotional than he ever did raising the property taxes on Davidson County residents. He sounds more emotional than I've really ever heard him about anything. He destroys Nashville institutions, or is in the process of destroying a Nashville institution like the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, but whatever. That's life. Can't give up those millions of dollars that John Ingram is holding over your head, can you, Freddie? Oh yeah, we know all about it, Freddie. Oh yeah, we know all about that money that he's holding over your head for, quote, affordable housing. That's the reason, right, Freddie? That's the reason you're not doing anything with the Bristol Motor Speedway, right, Freddie? I don't mind people disagreeing. I just hate it when they lie to you. I just hate it when they're liars. And anyway. But he's emotional about this because we've gotten to a point where that's all it is. It's emotion. So is Freddie O'Connell suggesting that everyone in the city of Nashville that's here illegally has a right to stay? I would like for one of our local reporters, I've got to wait my obligatory 2 months to have Freddie back on now because we had him on last week. Now, to his credit, he comes on. He faces the fire. I'll give him that. But so is that what we're saying? Is that what we're hearing from these immigrant groups? That if you get in, you get to stay in? And committing crimes, that's not a deportable offense either? It is Cinco de Mayo, after all. Or as Donald Trump has declared it, Cinco de Porto. That's funny. I don't care who you are. That's funny. It's Cinco de Porto. Hello, Trumpo. Somebody said we forgot the Panama Canal during Trumpo. Trumpo! It's time for America's favorite game, Trumpo. We're going to take over the Panama Canal. We're going to keep the Chinese out. Timu, go away, Moo. Get out of here. It's time for Trumpo. And you know what the U stands for? You can go back to where you came from. All right, there's the little Trumpo. Ken is next. Okay, Ken, how are you? Ken. Hello, Ken. K-E-N. Kenneth. Kenny.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yo. What's up, man?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you great.
I got a comment about these roundups for the illegal aliens and stuff. Why don't they just do a raid on some of the driver's license stations? I mean, if they do one a month, that would open the driver's license stations up to regular citizens so we can actually get in to get a driver's license. I went out there and I sat in line from 5 a.m. to about 7:30 a.m., and the line formed almost all the way around the building, and I think I was the only one there that spoke English. And what are those people doing there? I mean, and they're there every day. You'd think we'd run out of illegal aliens to clog up our driver's license station, but no, there's more.
Are they there trying to get driver's licenses?
I would assume so. I don't speak Spanish, and they don't speak or they won't speak English. So they're there for something. But if you're a regular citizen of this county, I mean, you just try to get a driver's license.
Look, I don't.
It's next to impossible.
Yeah, I mean, and I can't speak to it. I haven't been in a while, but I mean, obviously, I want the state of Tennessee, I want the United States of America, I want Davidson County and the city of Nashville to do everything and anything, and thank you, Ken, for the call, in their power to facilitate the lawful deportation of individuals that are not legally in the United States of America. Does that mean that I don't have compassion for some of these folks? Of course I do. Once again, it doesn't have to be one way or the other. I believe in the rule of law, and our immigration policy should reflect the need to benefit the United States of America first and foremost. That doesn't necessarily limit it to skilled labor coming into the United States from an immigration standpoint. Y'all know me. I have reiterated Murphy's immigration policy time and time and time again. If Murphy were king of the day, if this were Murphy world, we would put an immediate 12-month moratorium on all immigration into the United States of America. All of it. We would declare a state of emergency regarding our immigration policies. We would declare the need to make sure that we understand who's here and why they are here. We will root out those that have come over the last 4 years, particularly and focusing on, much like Trump has done, those who have committed criminal offenses while they are in this country. We will eventually get to a point where we're going to punish those who have come illegally, but not deport them, eventually. But that's after the 12-month cycle is complete. And at that point, we're going to set up a program by which individuals that have been in this country for longer than 5 years and have committed no illegal acts and have been a net benefit. In other words, you have a job, you have a paycheck, you are paying into the system through taxation. You're going to go to your probate court, and you're going to sign up through your probate courts. And you're going to agree to pay a fine to be determined by the general public. What do you want the fine to be? $2,000, $3,000? I don't care what it is. We are going to punish those who have committed illegal acts. Now, if you want to quibble on whether it should be 5 years or 10 years, that's fine too. My point is this, that we have to separate those latecomers who took advantage of an abused situation, abused by the liberals in the Biden administration, versus those who took advantage of a system that has been in place for the last 40-plus years, a system that did not seem to care once people got here illegally. And because many of those people took advantage of those systems, you have to accept an absorption rate. You're not going to, and I know some of you are saying, no, Murphy, no. You have to accept an absorption rate for those who have been here for decades, who have had babies here, whose babies are in school now. We have to accept a certain level of responsibility for our failure, not living up to the rule of law. As individual citizens, as communities, as a state, and as a nation. And I'm willing to do that, but it starts with a 12-month moratorium on all immigration, a return to countries of origin by anyone that has been in this country 5 years or less, and then we can figure out the rest. What do you think? Look, $1,000 a year for each year that you've been here illegally, I'm fine with that. Set up a payment program. And at that point, guess what those people are? They're legal and they're law-abiding but they're not citizens. You don't get to become a citizen. You're just a legal resident of the United States of America. And once you pay off your fine, once you have absolved yourself of the debt incurred by coming illegally, whether it's $1,000 or $10,000, we'll set up a system. You don't have to pay it all at once. I understand that people aren't made of money. Once you have paid it off and you continue to abide by the law, then you get to get in line. And then you get to go through the entire process. Now, some would say, well, no, if you broke the law, you don't get to get in line. I'm willing to have a conversation about that. This is a common sense approach to deal with the problem. And Trump has taken up much of these proposals, except for the 1-year total moratorium on immigration, which we ought to employ. I'm late. It's 54 after the hour on Super Talk. Dr. Brian McLaughlin's going to see my pretty face tomorrow. That's right. I'm headed to the Sleep Apnea and TMJ Solution Center. And if you're there tomorrow morning at any point, you'll see me. Why? Well, you know, by now you've probably heard me saying that I didn't realize I had sleep apnea. And thanks to Dr. Brian McLaughlin, Dr. Stephen Poss, and the Sleep Apnea and TMJ Solution Center, I learned that I, in fact, do have sleep apnea. And now I have the FDA-approved oral device. Well, Dr. McLaughlin recommended I come back in to make sure that I am fitted properly still. They want to just look over it. I've had it, I guess it's been almost a year now since I have been fitted with the device. Point is this. They take care of you after they fit you with your oral FDA-approved device, and they're doing so with me as well. It just takes a telephone call. All you have to do is call and say, hey, I think I need to get in and get refitted, and they will get you on the they'll get you on the docket, on the calendar, and make sure that everything is going well for you, even if you've been a past customer. And if you don't think that you can handle a CPAP machine and you know you have sleep apnea, let's sleep healthier by calling Dr. Brian McLaughlin, Dr. Stephen Poss, and the Sleep Apnea and TMJ Solution Center. Go to TennesseeSleep.com. That's the website, TennesseeSleep.com for more information. 2 locations, one's in Murfreesboro, the other in Brentwood. They are 5-star reviewed, and they are under most insurance plans. Go to the Sleep Apnea and TMJ Solution Center.
5 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. And right now in Nashville, Mayor Freddie O'Connell says Metro's looking into the immigration enforcement over the weekend in Antioch.
What we saw over the weekend was actions that happen on state routes with no coordination with local officials. So, yes, I continue to be concerned about the mechanism for these actions, and I think what they've demonstrated is that they can occur at times and locations of their choosing without our involvement.
Now, Tennessee Highway Patrol says it partnered with ICE and conducted 150-plus traffic stops for traffic violations during a public safety operation along Nolensville Pike and Harding Place, areas the Highway Patrol says has a lot of serious crashes and possible gang activity. And they confiscated illegal guns and drugs, but let ICE handle any legal citizenship issues. Now you have the Tennessee Immigration and Refugee Rights Coalition asking citizens to keep an eye out for and report ICE operations.
Our message today is this: Nashville must be a place of safety, not surveillance. A city that is welcoming and not fearing. These tactics erode the trust between communities and local government, and they make all of us less safe.
And Metro Legal's asking the Highway Patrol to provide a list of names and charges and considering the same of ICE, all those people that were detained. And a fund is being set up to help what the mayor's office says is the immigrant and refugee community in Nashville in light of these actions over the weekend. So what does Governor Lee say, you may ask? Well, here's Channel 4's Lydia Fielder.
He said, quote, Tennessee has a long track record of stepping up to secure our nation's borders and strengthening public safety. President Trump made it clear that states would play a major role in enforcing immigration laws and removing the most violent offenders. And Americans overwhelmingly elected him to do so. End quote there from Governor Lee.
Mayor's office says it doesn't know how many people ICE detained, but there were 3 charter buses that left the Department of Homeland Security offices in Nashville yesterday. And in our nation's capital,
President Trump Monday speaking about his administration's plan to offer money to undocumented immigrants to self-deport.
We're going to pay each one a certain amount of money, and we're going to get them a beautiful flight back to where they came from.
The Department of Homeland Security announced those who want to self-deport must use the CBP Home app, return to their home country, and then they'll receive a $1,000 stipend.
Maybe someday, with a little work, they can come back in if they're good people.
Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
And the Trump administration set to begin collecting defaulted government student loan payments starting today. They can now take payment from borrowers' tax refunds, wages, or send the debt to collections. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, police reporting a crash on the right shoulder, 24 eastbound, right after 440. Then in Antioch, 24 eastbound, right before Hickory Hollow Parkway, the right shoulder blocked by a crash, according to TDOT. And then TDOT says there is a stalled tractor-trailer blocking the right lane, 40 eastbound, right before the 2440 split. And then Belmont, stalled vehicle blocking the right shoulder, I-440 eastbound before Hillsborough Pike and 21st Avenue. Traffic every 10 minutes, every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
It is 7 after 5 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN and all across Middle Tennessee. Thank you for being with us, whether you're listening on radio 99.7 FM, perhaps you're tuned in on Spotify or iHeart or TuneIn or our own app. We've got an app that you can download and take wherever you go on your smartphone, your laptop. You can also check us out on Talk TV for you masochists in the listening audience that want to see how old Matt Murphy looks. It's not good, but it's here. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. And if you go over there, would you mind giving us the old like and subscribe, or like or subscribe? The thumbs up, it's sometimes called. Ken Weaver, if they go over there to that Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and they give us the old thumbs up or the like and subscribe, how much is that costing them today?
Absolutely nothing, boys. Yes.
There you go. Ken Weaver sets the rates on a day-to-day basis, and Ken Weaver continues to sell this at no cost to you. Like and subscribe. Thank you for being there. We appreciate you. Have either of y'all, I don't know that I've ever asked y'all this, have either of y'all experienced or known someone that has experienced nut allergies?
Yes, I've got a nephew.
A nephew with nut allergies.
Who, has nearly died.
Yikes.
Wow.
Because of it.
I can't say that I know of anyone.
I don't know of anyone either. But I used to, but I know people who do know people, right? And so there was a time when I poo-pooed it. That's right. I know what y'all are thinking. What, you, Murphy? Poo-poo? No, not you. Yes, me. I poo-pooed. I was like, whatever. Get over it.
Poo-poo.
I mean, I gave it the old poo-poo. Poo-poo on that. And people can die from this.
Oh, yeah.
And, and people that say you should have exposed them earlier or whatever. I mean, look. There was a time in my life where I had a habit of exploring old graveyards. I don't do it as much anymore nowadays, but I would go out to the old graveyards. I mean, I've been to a couple in Nashville, and you walk through and you see, I mean, if you get to the 1800s, into the 1800s a good bit, y'all see how many graves are there where they're 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 years old? A lot of them.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of them.
That's true.
And so a lot of people are like, we don't do it right if we would just expose them. I think there was a time when kids just died, in our society. Mm. And somebody would say, did you hear about the Johnsons? No. Oh, they lost their little boy. Oh, how old was he? 3. What happened? He just died. And it's 1870. Mm-hmm. They don't know. And so I don't judge so much on the nut allergy front as I used to, because I understand that there's some people that are significantly allergic. Well, the reason I bring this up is to revisit the Kentucky Derby, which I made a lot of friends talking about horse racing earlier today, so I figured I'd make some more. Did y'all hear about Mike Tirico?
Mm-mm.
So Mike Tirico is one of my faves when it comes to sports announcing. He's really, really good, and he is with NBC Sports. I think he used to be with ESPN and moved over to NBC. Well, he had to leave. I didn't know this. He had to leave the Kentucky Derby broadcast. He was like the lead guy on the broadcast. I don't think he was the race announcer, but he was like the lead announcer up until they hand over to the race announcer, right?
Okay.
Mike Tirico said today that he's feeling fine after having to leave the Kentucky Derby broadcast over a reaction to his nut allergies.
Wow.
He said on the Today Show this morning, I've had a nut allergy my entire life. I'm usually very, very careful. I ate something that had a nut in it, and it caused an allergic reaction, caused my throat to close, my nose to swell, clogged up. It affected my breathing to the point where he took, what do they call those? The
epinephrine?
Yeah, the epinephrine.
EpiPen.
The EpiPen, and was treated by the EMTs at Churchill Downs and said he was feeling okay by Saturday night. He said, I'm embarrassed by all of the attention. Ahmed Fareed took over for the 58-year-old broadcaster who was hosting Derby coverage for the 9th straight year, set to host the Preakness on NBC May 17th. But apparently it was bad enough where somebody got around him with nuts.
Wow.
Yikes. That's, I mean, when my wife was a flight attendant, she would tell stories about getting an alert that they would have to clean a plane for peanuts if they had someone with a severe peanut allergy. And there were certain flights and people would get pissed because they couldn't have their peanuts.
A little bag of peanuts, yeah.
All right, because they're like, I'm sorry, we can't. Can I get the peanuts, please? Because you would get the little crackers, the little Briscoes or whatever they're called, the little biscottis or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I want peanuts. Oh, we can't have peanuts on this flight. I'm sorry. We have someone with a peanut. Who's got a peanut allergy?
Throw them off.
Get them off the plane. But apparently sniffing that stuff can be pretty bad. I don't know. But anyway, peanut allergies. 12 after the hour. We'll get to more of your calls coming up in just a moment. Super Talk 99.7 WTN, talking about Freddie O'Connell and the weekend traffic stops in the city of Nashville and his reaction to it, which was just absurd. News of the operation came when the Tennessee Immigrants and Refugee Rights Coalition, or the TIRRC, said 2 law enforcement agencies arrested, quote, community members in South Nashville. According to Lisa Sherman Luna, the TIRRC's executive director, quote, arbitrarily rounding up parents on their way home and workers traveling to their jobs does not make Nashville a safer or stronger place. Instead, it shatters families, erodes trust in law enforcement, and leads to fear, trauma, isolation, weakens the collective fabric of our community. This on the heels of the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Organization and the Tennessee Highway Patrol carrying out an operation on Sunday that led to the arrest and seizure of illegal drugs and weapons. The Tennessee Highway Patrol told WKRN Television that around 150 traffic stops were conducted due to law violations. Some drivers were found not to have proper licenses or identification. That was handled by federal law enforcement. THP also added that several arrests were made for people with outstanding warrants, including people suspected of having gang affiliations. It also said the operation allowed law enforcement to seize illegal drugs and guns. So here's the thing. These liberals who are wanting like Freddie O'Connell, Heidi Campbell, and all the rest, are they not bringing up the fact that we got illegal guns off the streets? Is that not a good thing, Freddie? Is it not good that we saw THP arrest people with warrants for their arrest? They were stopped too, Freddie. All you seem to want to talk about was the family disruption and all. What about people with warrants and illegal drugs and illegal guns? I thought you wanted fewer guns on the street. So, did you send out our email?
I did.
Okay, this is great. So, I contacted the executive producer of the Matt Murphy Show earlier today, and I said, you know what we should do, Weber? Because all of these folks, like Senator Heidi Campbell, and J.R. Clemens, and Justin Jones, and Afton Ben, and Freddie O'Connell, and all the rest, all of these local lawmakers are just screaming and crying and mewling and puking about how awful it is that this happened over the weekend. And so I told Chris to send out an email to these local lawmakers inviting them to be on the radio show. And you invited them on to talk about this subject?
I believe it was 13 in total. Yeah.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
So have we what's the number of folks who have contacted us back there so far, Weber?
Let me just tally that up.
Yeah, just carry the one. Don't forget about the one over there.
That would be 0.
Huh.
Unless you count the 2 automated responses that I got.
Who got the auto?
Let's see. That
We're
was...
sorry. We recognize this coming from a conservative talk radio station. We're never going to respond.
That was Senator Charlene Oliver. Gave me the automatic kickback. Thank you for contacting the office of State Senator Charlene Oliver, District 19, blah, blah, blah. We value your input.
Oh, that's nice.
And then, Representative Afton Ben as well with an automated kickback.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's Afton doing? Did it tell you?
We appreciate your email and value your input. While we're in session, and if you're a constituent, please expect a response within 72 hours. So I guess I probably should not expect a response within 72 hours.
She's saying while we're in session and if you're a constituent.
Yes.
But other words, go pound sand? Is that
It's kind of what it sounds like. Oh, and there's also, after that, the bottom of that, it starts all over again, but it's in Spanish. Hola. Gracias por comunicar con la oficina del representante Afton Ben.
Afino Bino. Oh, that's good. So she is El Respondo in El Español, which is nice.
See.
It's just, si, senor. So we'll let y'all know if any of the liberal lawmakers in Davidson County respond. We have reached out to 13 of them on the radio show, and I'll shut up. I'll let them talk. I'll get out of the way and give them 5 minutes of unfettered testimony as to why we should keep lawbreakers on the streets, why we should keep people on the streets with illegal drugs and guns, why people should be allowed to drive around with warrants without fear of being pulled over because of, quote, family separation. Do I hear any of these people screaming about family separation when we're arresting criminals? Could you not say the same thing? Ken, I know I've leaned on you. Can you re-rack that first clip that you played for me of Freddie?
Of Freddie?
Yeah, the first Freddie clip. Could Freddie not have said this about every person arrested with a family ever?
This is a tough moment, and I am heartbroken that today many of our neighbors in Nashville are experiencing fear over family separation rather than the safety we all deserve.
What? So if you break the law, if you go with a couple of your buddies and break into a warehouse and steal a bunch of stuff, and then you fence that stuff and you get the money and you take your family out on vacay, you maybe go over to Graceland and enjoy some of the amenities that Memphis has to offer, and then you come back home and somebody found a fingerprint somewhere and realize it's you, and they come and they arrest you. Is that not family separation? Is it not wrong that you're separated from your family? Just because you broke the law, why should you be separated from your family? According to Freddie O'Connell. Does that make any sense to anyone? 9009 says it sounds like he's advocating for sanctuary status. I don't know what he's advocating for. It sounds like he's advocating for lawlessness. That if you can demonstrate you're actually a really good person and you didn't mean to break the law, but you just broke the law because you know you needed to, then that gets you a free pass. Danny's in Selmer with a thought on all of these things. Hey, Danny, what's up?
Hey, good evening, sir. I'll try and make this quick. I just think that some of these people, I mean, put aside the conspiracy theories or other things, I think some of these people are maybe just do-gooders and they're misplaced and they don't realize all the facts and maybe they don't know what's going on. And I want to tell you something personal here about that. Now, I'm going to make it as quick as I can, and I want to simply doing fine. But a long time ago, I went school graduate, honest citizen, and obeyed laws and trade school. Still want to serve my country. I had a lot of experience, so I went in just so I could help everybody in the country my own little way. Now, I also had a wife and a couple kids. Now, while I was away on active duty, a criminal came in and murdered her, the mom. And thankfully, the kids was over visiting they couldn't prove the rape because she wasn't allowed to testify whether it was consensual or not, which is stupid. But anyway, the liberals is what I want to say. They friggin' took. I mean, he got convicted and stuff. They cut him out early instead of his full sentence. But they also that couple, he's a career criminal. He's a felon, murdered this woman, and she perjured herself on in court to give him an alibi, which of course all the evidence was against him. Now they went ahead and got married after he got convicted, because the reason they hadn't got married is so they get public federal funding and benefits of food stamps and stuff, and then they got married so that she would be able to qualify as a wife with an incarcerated husband, and thereby putting that on her application. Habitat for Humanity built him a house and built it. It's all a matter of public record for her and the kids. And this was in the hometown where my kids' mom was murdered, and they built a shrine to the murderer's family and all that. And he enriched himself because then he was half owner of that house that they all donated because they're do-gooders. They didn't know the facts. As soon as I sent out the facts, and further, they actually lost the house. They couldn't make the payments, and the police had an automatic arrest record because there's so much crime going on there. And even his son is on a prison stint. So if we want to be do-gooders, here I was, lost half the income as being a family. My wife was dead, and I had kids to take care of. I had to pay for child care and everything else. I never asked for nothing. No handouts, no nothing. I just made it. All right, I did okay. I had to give up my military career because I was gone so much.
Danny,
and I took care of kids.
Danny.
But look at the do-gooders. They could have helped us out. I didn't want that. Why did they help out the criminals?
I don't know. That story is that's 8 levels of crazy, Danny. That's
it
insane.
Is. I've lived it.
No, I believe you. I believe you. I know it's tough to tell the story in just a couple minutes, but that's insane.
Decades ago. Yeah. And my daughter still, I'm all right with it. My daughter's still messed up over it. She lost her mom when she was 3, man.
I know.
She still ain't been right. But
well, I mean, it's right. It's an upside down world in a lot of ways, Danny.
Why are these do-gooders do that? Why don't they get some facts before they help people out? And say, wait a minute. Let's be against these criminals that are causing this to our own people. Which I don't care. My first love in junior high school was a Mexican girl. We run into each other occasionally, and we still hug and smile and talk,
Oh, Danny. Better watch out. Got a little flame for her there. Sounds like you got a little flame for her there, Danny.
I ain't going to say no different. I ain't going to lie to you. But I'm not racist at all, it's just a thing.
Hey, Danny, are you currently, you might have mentioned, are you currently taken? Are you? Hey, Danny, hold on a second. Do you know... You know if your little Mexican senorita is taken?
Yes, I imagine she is.
You imagine? That's not a yes, hey, Danny. I think it's time for us to make how do you say love connection in Spanish? Because that's what we need to make, Danny. Come on. You call that little senorita.
Come on now.
Call that little senorita up tonight and invite her out for a margarita on Cinco de Mayo. Mm-hmm. Hola, senorita. My name-o, Denisto. Por favor.
Denisto?
I don't know. I'm just making it up as I go along. El Lovo Connexiano, maybe?
That would be amor, right? Amor Connexion.
Amor
Connexion amor.
Just somebody tell us how to say Chuck Woolery in Spanish and 24 after the hour. In a world that ought to be a little more reliable, things are downright unreliable nowadays. Oh, it's going to be ready at 4. It's not ready at 4. Oh, it'll be ready on Thursday. It's not ready on Thursday. Hey, it's Matt Murphy. And if you're tired of unreliable vehicle repair, I want you to go to Eurofix and see the reliable Eurofix. Eurofix has your vehicle ready when they say that it's ready. You don't have to stand around waiting. Eurofix repairs all European cars with quality that beats the dealer, and they don't charge you dealer pricing. Dealer repair shops, most people don't know this, but I've learned from Aaron Stokes of Eurofix, Dealer repair shops are designed to pay the overhead of the dealership, right? So, and that's a lot of money, and you're paying additional charges. You shouldn't do that. You get a 3-year nationwide warranty at Eurofix. You get a free loaner car at Eurofix. Reliable means something at Eurofix. If you're tired of unreliable auto repair shops or unreliable European auto repair, go to Eurofix. For 26 years, Aaron Stokes has been turning the unreliable into reliable. Go to myeurofix.com. That's myeurofix.com or 844-EUROFIX. That's 844-EUROFIX.
Mayor Freddie O'Connell speaks out against federal immigration enforcement over the weekend in Nashville. This story and more coming up at 5:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Hey, you think of all of the individuals that lived in Davidson County that are illegal aliens, self-deported, and took the $1,000 that Donald Trump's offering them to self-deport, that would lower property values to the point that we wouldn't have to go up on property taxes? What do y'all think? What do y'all think? I mean, I'm just trying to think outside of the box, try to save y'all some money, right? So if you limit the squeeze on housing prices, that would free up some affordable housing, wouldn't it? I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Donald Trump's not kidding either. Donald Trump is offering $1,000 to illegal aliens who decide to self-deport. The Trump administration announced today that it would provide $1,000 of financial aid to illegal immigrants who self-deport from the United States of America and take advantage of travel assistance. The Department of Homeland Security said it will give $1,000 to illegal immigrants who use the CBP home. I couldn't get through it. Just download the app, go on home, register yourself at your home country, and we'll get you $1,000. to confirm their return home. All you have to do is confirm that you're in your home country on the app, and if you're here illegally, self-deportation is the best, safest, and most cost-effective way to leave the United States to avoid arrest. Department of Homeland Security is offering illegal aliens financial travel assistance and a stipend to return to their home country through the CBP Home app. That, according to Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. Well, there's great news. Fox News first reported on the new deportation program this morning. More on that coming up, plus nincompoops in the news and your telephone calls after this. It's time for the news on Super Talk.
5:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Right now in Nashville, Mayor Freddie O'Connell not happy about those ICE detentions over the weekend.
What's clear is that federal and state authorities are intent on enforcing immigration law. Their approach is not our understanding of what a Nashville for all of us looks like.
Yeah, it happened late Saturday, early Sunday in Antioch along Nolensville Pike and Harding Place, where the Highway Patrol says there are a lot of serious crashes and possible gang activity. This area represented by Metro Council member Sandra Sepulveda, who said this today.
These are our constituents. These are our community members. These are Nashvillians. These are people who are building this city and making sure that this city runs. And these are people that pay taxes. And they deserve to be represented by all of us.
Now you have the Tennessee Immigration and Refugee Rights Coalition asking citizens to keep an eye out for and report ICE operations. So here's what the Tennessee Highway Patrol says went down this weekend. It says it partnered with ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and conducted 150-plus traffic stops for traffic violations during what it says was a public safety operation where there has been a lot of serious crashes and possible gang activity. Troopers say they confiscated illegal guns and drugs in the process, but they let ICE handle any legal citizenship issues. And the Trump administration now says it's going to offer $1,000 if illegal immigrants deport themselves. The Department of Homeland Security says people would get that money after returning to their home country. Trump administration set to begin collecting defaulted government student loan payments starting today. They can now take payment from borrowers' tax refunds, wages, or send the debt to collections. And get a load of what happened to actress Jennifer Aniston. A scary situation unfolded at her home in L.A. today.
According to law enforcement sources, a man in his 70s crashed his car into the gate at Jennifer Aniston's Bel Air home. She was inside as her security team held the driver at gunpoint until police arrived. We're told the original call was for a burglary. It's unclear if crashing into the gate was intentional or an accident. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, police reporting a crash 40 eastbound right after the 24 split downtown. And then police reporting a crash on the right shoulder, 24 eastbound after 440. Police say there's a crash involving injuries. Briley Parkway northbound right before Two Rivers. And in Antioch, a crash 24 eastbound at Hickory Hollow Parkway. Traffic every 10 minutes, every morning on Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
You know, if you're trying to lose a few lbs, and I've been losing a pound or two for the new year, starting in the beginning of the year, spices can go a long way in assisting you in doing that. I mean, suffice it to say, many of you have recognized by now that food that is good for you does tend to have less flavor than delicious food that is not very good for you. But you can flavor up these foods. Let me tell you something. I can make broccoli taste like ice cream with spices from Savory Spice. You sprinkle on a little lemon pepper over that steamed broccoli, and it is absolutely delicious. Lemon pepper from Savory Spice available in Franklin, just off the square next to Gray's Pharmacy. I'm telling you, you can really spice up the mood of your food by getting to Savory Spice. If you're looking to up that food game, you up it through Savory Spice. They also have the Spice and Easy line. For those of you that aren't really that good around the kitchen, they can help you out. But if you're an expert around the kitchen, you know where to get your spices. You restock, you get the normal seasonings, the delicious blends, and all of those staples from Savory Spice. Go see Holly and David, the local owners of Savory Spice, and tell them that Matt Murphy sent you to the one and only, in Franklin, Savory Spice. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm officially announcing that no one, not Ken Weaver, not Chris Webber, not Matt Murphy, can pick Freddie O'Connell as their nincompoop in the news.
Oh.
See, it's too easy. I knew it was too easy. Although there was this going on at an ice facility. Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
So we are outside.
Hold on a second. That's very confusing.
A little bit of Matt Murphy.
Yeah, it's a Matt Murphy in the background.
Taken right off the streets. As you can see right now, people are standing in the way of this bus, but you can hear some of the voices right now, people saying, shame on you.
What are your kids and grandkids gonna think? There was no list. They weren't targeting specific people with specific backgrounds. All of that are lies. We've heard estimates about 100 people have been detained.
An immigration
and
advocate.
Part of the reason we don't know is because ICE refuses to communicate. We have family members out here that are looking for people that are possibly detained, and they're refusing to give any sort of information.
And now we have law enforcement, people from Homeland Security moving people out of the path of the bus. So
that's in Nashville over the weekend.
I don't know if you could tell toward the end there, it appeared that the bus was empty other than the driver and one other person that was in there. We haven't heard much from Homeland Security, ICE, or anyone else to describe what's going to happen with the people who were detained.
We've heard from a couple of folks. One was a DoorDash driver who delivers till like 2 a.m. He pulled up to a traffic light and that there was a THP next to him. As he moved forward, then THP got behind him and pulled him over. He didn't remember the reason why they gave him. But immediately, seconds after he got pulled over by THP, ICE was at his car door and arrested him. There was another woman, her name is Anna, and THP pulled her over and told her that her window tinting was too dark. Seconds after, ICE was at her door pulling her.
By the way, my window tinting is too dark. I could get easily pulled over with that. But that's neither
out of the car and arresting her. We didn't see these types of enforcements in other parts of the city. This was specifically in our part of the city where we see storefronts that have Latino names, where we see the Latino community. So it was very much like a scare tactic and very much like racially profiling.
This should be eye-opening for everyone.
Okay, so that's what the do-gooders are saying about the events over the weekend. That was just a couple of minutes of concern from the Latino community that, and by the way, every stop had to be precipitated by a reason to stop someone. It is not permissible to profile anyone and stop them based on the profile that you engage in. In other words, the Tennessee Highway Patrol is not allowed to stop straight white men or white men that they think are straight. They're not allowed to stop black people because they're black. You're not allowed to do that. You have to stop someone for a legitimate purpose, and at that point, you can initiate proceedings to determine whether or not they're legally driving, whether or not they're legally in the country. And at a time when you determine that they're not legally in the country, then you turn them over to Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which is what happened to these folks. I feel bad for them. I feel bad that they broke the law. I feel bad that they were comfortable in the idea that they could get away with it for the rest of their lives. Hopefully, they can get everything together and be made whole in their countries of origin. But until such time as we figure all of this out, these types of things have to go on, particularly when it involves individuals that have not only broken the law to get here, but have also broken the law while they are here. We'll get to Clint and Marie coming up in just a few moments, but right now it's 41 after the hour. It is time to find the nincompoops in the news.
Nincompoops in the news.
Freddie O'Connell-less edition of Nincompoops in the News, where we look all over these United States of America, right here in the state of Tennessee and beyond, really all over the world. We find those nincompoops and we present them to you now. We call it Nincompoops in the News. Ken Weaver, Chris Weber, and Matt Murphy, we all vie for your votes, and you are the voters. Remember that number, 615-737-9986. Remember that as we present Nincompoops in the News. I had a good week last week. I won one.
Yeah.
Way to go, Brother Murphy.
I know. That's not normal.
Yeah, it ties a record for you.
I know. One. It's like cocky. Very cocky. Mr. Ken Weaver.
Yes, sir.
I feel good about you going first.
All right. This is a story out of Tulland, Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
A man who police said walked around a restaurant naked while people, including children, ate dinner on Friday is due in court next week. According to the state police, 42-year-old Andrew Kinghorn came into the restaurant Papa T's, fully clothed, sat down at the counter and asked for a menu. Short time later, Kinghorn went to one of the restrooms where he spent about 10 to 15 minutes. Police say, and I quote, "When the male emerged from the restroom, he was completely naked, which caused alarm amongst the patrons. Yeah. Children were among the customers."
Yeah.
Police were called. Kinghorn was arrested and charged with 2 counts of risk of injury to a minor and second-degree breach of peace. He posted $20,000 bail and is scheduled to appear in State Superior Court in Rockville on December the 11th.
Quoted as saying, "I got your breach of peace right here."
No word on suspected drug use or anything like that?
Alcohol consumption?
Yeah, there's no word on, police suspect some sort of inebriation.
Yeah.
But, apparently he just went into Papa T's fully clothed, decided to go to the bathroom and declothe.
Well, sometimes you just got to take it off.
Went to Papa T's and wanted to Papa D. Don't look, Ethel.
It's too late.
What do you mean you don't have hot dogs?
Oh, he'd already shown us his French fried potatoes.
Mm-hmm. Put some mustard on that. Mm-hmm.
I'll go next.
All right.
I really feel like the Philippines gets underserved on nincompoops in the news. The Philippines is truly Southeast Asia's Florida. And I'm going to demonstrate what I mean. A man visiting a zoo in the Philippines was attacked by a crocodile. The man, identified as Manila, and I'm not making this name up. I might be mispronouncing it, but it's MANILABULLETIN, which is pronounced Manila Bulletin. Manila Bulletin. The man, identified as Manila Bulletin as a 29-year-old, climbed over a chain-link fence with a cell phone in his hand at the Cabug Island Mangrove and Wetlands Park in the Philippines.
There we go.
Monday, April 28th. In a video obtained by the press, onlookers could be heard screaming at the man as the crocodile came after him and bit him on the arm and held on. Though the man could be seen sitting still as he awaited help, the crocodile, a female named Lele the crocodile, dragged him through the shallow water and began to roll over, twisting his arm even further in one of those death rolls.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. He screamed in pain. Police officers told local media that the man climbed the fence into the enclosure and told them that he did so because he thought the crocodile was fake.
You want to get a closer look.
The tourist was walking around the area, saw the crocodile, which he thought was a plastic fixture. According to the police on the scene, he climbed to the fence, entered the enclosure where he attempted to take a selfie with what he thought was a fake crocodile, and the crocodile did what crocodiles do and attacked him. According to reports local to the scene, the man was reportedly, quote, mentally impaired.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
Well, I would say so. Sadly, video footage shows that Lele rolled the man multiple times in what scientists call the death roll, a tactic used by many crocodilian species to kill prey and tear it apart for consumption. According to the Daily Mail, the zookeeper in charge of Lele had attempted to stop the man from climbing the fence beforehand and eventually entered the enclosure himself to rescue the 29-year-old. Allegedly, he hit the crocodile over the head with a piece of concrete and forced her to open her mouth. That'll do it. No word on... Here's the thing. What I was trying to get to is don't hurt Lele. Like, a lot of times they're like, oh, we had to kill Lele.
Right, yeah.
Don't kill Lele.
Yeah.
Lele didn't do anything wrong.
She's just doing what alligators do.
She's just performing as alligators are designed to perform. If there's meat over here, I'm going to eat on it.
Especially if somebody wants to take a picture of me.
Amen. An investigation of the incident still ongoing, so Lele is still in danger. Let's hope Lele doesn't have anything happen to her.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, well, 29-year-old.
Idiot.
Manila Bulletin. That may have been the newspaper. I don't know. I'm very confused.
That might
His cousin Manila envelope.
No, I think, no. It's the story says, Ken, I thought this, the man, see, I read it wrong. It's not, I read it, the man identified as Manila Bulletin. I guess he's identified by the Manila Bulletin.
There you go.
That would make a lot more sense.
Yeah. I kind of like that name.
If I keep going, I think I'm going to become the nincompoop in the news, so I'm just going to go ahead and hand off to Chris Webber.
All right. A Texas mom has been arrested after being accused of bringing Jell-O shots to a Christmas party at her child's elementary school.
Oh, there you go.
The party was held back in December at Jones Elementary, Tyler, Texas, and according to an affidavit, an assistant principal told the Tyler Independent School District police officer that she believed a parent had brought Jell-O shots to a class party. Police identified the parent as 33-year-old Teresa Bernal. Bernal reportedly told the officer that the Jell-O came from a small sweet shop that's run in a private home. She said she brought them for her daughter's 5th grade Christmas party, but said she did not know they contained alcohol. Bernal told police that she noticed the Jell-O was spiked only after the children had eaten some of them. The blue, red, or green Jell-O was in little cups with whipped cream and strawberries on top of some of them. And according to the affidavit, students who ate the Jell-O shots were checked on by school nurses. Police saying nearly all the kids reported having stomach aches or headaches, with one boy saying he threw up twice that day, and another claimed he passed out after eating 6 of them.
Goodness.
This is a 5th grader. Another parent said her son was acting oddly when she picked him up from school and also passed out on the floor at home.
Uh-huh.
The affidavit says about 20 minutes into the party, 2 teachers tried some of the Jell-O shots and notified the fifth grade teacher, that they thought the cups might contain alcohol. The teacher tried one that she said it was hard to tell, but she did throw away the remaining Jell-O cups just to be safe. The owner of the sweet shop told police that the Jell-O contained vodka, but they thought Bernal had ordered alcoholic shots on purpose and were unaware the order was for a class party of children. The owner also provided a screenshot from a text from Bernal shortly after the party asking if the Jell-O contained alcohol. The owner replied that they did and asked why, and Bernal simply texted back, "Kids." Lab tests did show that some of the Jell-O cups from the party did have alcohol in them.
I think the kids showed that.
And in further interviews, staff at the school said that Bernal was an involved parent who was often present at school functions, but she was booked into the Smith County Jail, charged with reckless bodily injury to a child with a bond set at $75,000.
And that's when I told Big Bird, you can kiss my little butt.
This is in Tyler, Texas?
Yeah.
I used to live by there.
I just imagine a little drunk
Had this woman never heard of Jell-O shots before?
How old were they?
They were fifth graders, so what's that, like
10,
11? Yeah.
Goodness.
11-year-old kids all drunk.
I mean, Jell-O shots are alcoholic, right?
Yeah.
I've never heard of a non-alcoholic Jell-O shot.
I bet the kids will enjoy this.
No, I mean, that's what you call Jell-O.
It's just Jell-O.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you order Jell-O shots, hey, I'd like 50 Jell-O shots. You are ordering alcohol.
You're getting drunk.
You're getting drunk.
Yeah.
By the way, Jell-O shots, big fan. Big thumbs up.
Really?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Have you ever had Jell-O shots?
Well, obviously.
I mean, come on. Who's not a fan?
Yeah.
Well, the 11-year-olds, apparently.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They might have been a fan. It reminds me of this time my family got together, whole family got together at Red Lobster one time. I was about this age, about 10 or 11. I ordered and consumed at least 2 what I thought were virgin daiquiris.
Yeah.
And
apparently they were not virgin daiquiris.
Uh-huh.
It was only noticed after I drank about 1.5 of them.
Uh-huh.
And finally my mom was like, "You all right? What's
I wonder if that happens. I wonder if that happens around here with these bushwhackers.
Bushwhackers.
Have you had a bushwhacker? Have you ever had a bushwhacker, Ken Weaver?
Never had.
Have you had a bushwhacker?
I've never had one. I've wanted to try one.
It's like a milkshake.
Yeah.
Are they local? Did they come from Nashville?
I've heard various accounts of where it actually originated.
I don't know, but I had one at the end of the show, toward the end of the show at Twin Creeks.
Yeah.
Twin Creeks. At Tim's Ford Lake. A couple weekends ago. I had a delicious bushwhacker. And let me tell you something. By the end of that bushwhacker, you'll know it's alcoholic. I mean, they're good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but you don't taste it when it's going down.
Yeah.
I maybe I'm just an alkie, but you could sit, I feel like you could sit that in front of a kid and the kid would drink it and not know that there's alcohol in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's the danger.
A little dangerous.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's how we play Nincompoops in the News. Ladies and germs, give us a vote. Chris Webber, Ken Weaver, Matt Murphy, your favorite nincompoop of the day. And we'll tally them up and let you know who's the big winner. Clint, we'll get to you in a moment as well. Plus, it's a story almost included in Nincompoops in the News, but I couldn't quite figure out who the nincompoop was. A woman went missing 60 years ago, more than 60 years ago. And the missing woman's case has just been solved.
Wow.
I'll tell you how it was solved. By the way, she's alive.
Interesting.
And is coming up next on Super Talk. For the record, I'm being reminded that I actually had this conversation at Twin Creeks about bushwhackers. And it was established during that show, in which I may or may not have already had some bushwhacker, that bushwhackers originated in Florida, at the Floribama.
Bushwhacker.
At the Floribama.
Yeah, that's what somebody told you.
Yeah, somebody had already told me that, and I'd forgotten, and now people are reminding me that I'd been told. More on my mental infirmity coming up in a moment. I'll tell you this. I remember the date for the Glock Store's 5th annual open house. It's happening Saturday, May 31st. I'm very excited about it. Saturday, May 31st, I'll be there from 10 until 2, and I hope you are as well. I've been there for the last few years, and this is the party of the year, folks. Every year they throw the doors open and welcome all of Nashville to come and join the fun at the Glock Store Open House. Famous for their raffles, and they'll be holding them this year as well. Famous for their guest speakers, and they'll have some guest speakers too, and they'll have incredible deals on so many items. Just an example of it, their Boro Bullets Blowout, which is not easy to say, 9mm and 223, 1,000-round tag packs, a Boro Bullet ammo box. You will not believe the price. You'll have to be there to understand just how inexpensively these things are going. Plus, they have a brand new line of full auto rental rifles, and I've done this, and this is fabulous. You just have to experience once in your life. If you've never fired full auto, you can do so in their shooting rooms at the Glock Store. Go to GlockStore.com or Shoot270.com for more information, and mark down the date, May 31st, 10 until 2. I'll be there, and I want to see you as well. It's the 5th annual open house, minutes away from the airport, worth the drive from anywhere, the one and only Glock Store.
6 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. And right now in Nashville, Mayor Freddie O'Connell says his office and Metro Legal working to get a list of names and charges of the people detained by federal immigration enforcement officials over the weekend.
This is a tough moment, and I am heartbroken that today many of our neighbors in Nashville are experiencing fear over family separation rather than the safety we all deserve.
Well, the Tennessee Highway Patrol says it conducted a public safety operation along with Immigration and Customs Enforcement in areas of Nashville where troopers say there have been serious crashes and possible gang activity. This would be in the Antioch area late Saturday into early Sunday around Nolensville Pike and Harding Place. They say they conducted 150-plus traffic stops for moving violations, ended up confiscating illegal guns and drugs, but let ICE handle any illegal immigration issues. Here's Channel 4's Steve Mailing.
Mayor Freddie O'Connell says that both federal and state officials operated without Metro being in the know this past weekend. He also reaffirmed the statement that Metro police were not involved in any of these operations in any form. The city council members believe the, quote, public safety operation that THP says was happening over the weekend is just a smokescreen for immigration enforcement.
Channel 4 says 3 charter buses departed from Department of Homeland Security offices in Nashville yesterday, went to an immigration detention facility in Louisiana. President Trump today speaking about his administration's plan to offer money to undocumented immigrants to self-deport.
We're going to pay each one a certain amount of money, and we're going to get them a beautiful flight back to where they came from, and they have a period of time.
After a period of time?
Maybe someday, with a little work, they can come back in if they're good people.
Yeah, so in the meantime, a free airline ticket, and then when they get to their home country and the U.S. government confirms, they'll get a $1,000 stipend. Starting this week, you better start paying back those student loan payments that were frozen in the pandemic.
5 million borrowers are either in default or not making payments on their student loans. But this week, the Trump administration began the process for them to resume. If you aren't sure if you're in default or not.
A credit score drop is the first sign that you might, be behind on your student loan. So even borrowers who are delinquent, which is not as serious as default, can face significant credit score drops.
Market Watch's Jillian Berman says the best thing to do is check your account at studentaid.gov. If you are in default and don't pay, the government could take money out of your wages, your Social Security payments, or any tax refunds. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
That's the latest news, traffic, and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Police reporting a crash on the right shoulder, 24 eastbound after I-440, then 40 eastbound after I-24 downtown. In Antioch, police say there's a crash 24 eastbound at Hickory Hollow Parkway. That'll be exit 60. Traffic every 10 minutes, every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Hello, kids. My name is Matt Murphy, and we've got one more hour to go on this Monday edition of the Matt Murphy Show. It is Cinco de Mayo, or as Trump calls it, Cinco de Deporto. Do people actually go? I mean, I enjoy Mexican food. What is the difference between Mexican and Tex-Mex?
Ooh, that's a Ken Weaver question. I don't know. Maybe he would know.
Or Mr. Weaver knows back there. See, no, he's doing something else. I don't know. Find out when Ken's not doing something else. I got a question. By the way, speaking of doing something else, apparently you've been doing a good job finding nincompoop stories because you're the big winner, Chris Weber.
Ooh, thank you very much.
Chris Weber, big winner. Jell-O shots. Yeah. Winner. Jell-O dinner. 4859 says, I took 17 Jell-O shots one night. I tried giving the people's elbow on a folding table. Just bounced off the table without breaking it. I have video proof. Well, 4859, we're going to need to see that. I mean, I think that's fair.
Everyone wants to see that.
9009 says, she likely didn't realize that the shots in Jell-O shots means alcohol, not just single-use packaging. I'm with you. I don't know how you order, but then why would you order Jell-O from someone else? Why wouldn't you just make the Jell-O?
Jell-O is a good question.
I mean, for the love, Jell-O is an easy thing to make.
Pretty simple.
Jell-O shots are pretty easy to make, too.
That's true.
But you're the big winner there, Chris Weber. Congratulations on that. All right, real quick, Clint, we'll get to you real quick before I talk about this 60-year-old cold case that has been solved. Hey, Clint.
How's it going, man?
I'm doing great, Clint. I hope you are.
I just want to say that bushwhacker thing you was talking about, I got one of them at the Big Chill and Grill down here in Chattanooga, and I was walking out of it sideways. They put PGA in it, but it tastes just like a McDonald's Mocha Frappuccino.
They put pure grain alcohol. Is that PGA?
Yeah, PGA, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing I was going to ask, does Weaver have like a special data? Most of all his nincompoops
Most of his nincompoops are what?
Are naked. Like most ones here lately they've been doing something naked.
Well, yeah, that's by design.
Mm-hmm.
I got you.
I type in naked and then go from there.
I heard that.
Well,
Okay.
and this is also turning in somewhat of a. I mean, you know how if you reward a dog, you get more of that dog behavior, and if you punish a dog, you get less of it.
I got you. Yeah.
Ken has gone away from the naked stories a couple of times, and I don't think he's won a single one of them. So I think he's being rewarded for the nudity.
Yeah, the real reason I called in is I didn't know, because I know y'all are like real tapped into the like state government. There was a meeting down here in Chattanooga on Sunday, and my wife drives a limousine or limousine service, and she has some conservative guys, but I know that the guy that has caused a lot of issues up there in the house, Justin something, he was riding in the car in front of them, and the mayor of Memphis said there was a bunch of politicians came in down there. I didn't know if you might have heard anything about that or what was going on about that.
I don't know anything about it, Clint.
Okay. Yeah, I just know that the three guys that were riding in my wife's car, they were conservatives, and of course they had their opinions about the people in front of them. But you know, I just wondered if you heard anything, because I didn't hear anything about it, because I get all my news from y'all. I don't watch news on TV. I listen to y'all.
No, I don't blame you. All the news you get from Ken Weaver, all the commentary you get from Matt Murphy, that's all you need.
Right.
In my opinion.
I mean, Weaver's got the naked people, and
I got the screaming and the yelling. Yeah, I mean, it's all good.
Yeah, hey, man, y'all have a blessed day, man. I just wanted you to have to know anything about that.
You too, Clint. I appreciate you. Weaver, we were trying to determine
what's that? The
definition of Tex-Mex.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I know, and, people are giving me crap about it, but I know what Mexican food is. Look, the in-laws live in New Mexico. I've been out in New Mexico. I've had Santa Fe, Roswell, authentic. Rancho de Chamayo is the finest Mexican restaurant on planet Earth, and it's just outside of Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Yes, sir. That place is, whoo.
I love it. So, but I don't really know how Tex-Mex is defined.
I don't either. From what I was always told by people it's Mexican food, but it's got Texas influence,
like Americanized, maybe.
Yeah, and I really don't know what that means. I will say this: that living in Albuquerque, we were told at the Mexican restaurants that where we went to that these were actual Mexican recipes and Mexican cookers, and I gotta say, man, there's a difference.
Well,
there's a
I
little
agree.
bit more kick.
There's more kick, and then there's it's less, in my experience, it's less sauce oriented. And I mean, it's the flavorings are similar, but like mole sauce. I've had a mole sauce. I had a listener mention a mole sauce, which is chocolate based.
Yeah,
but it's got a bitterness to it. Oh, so good.
Oh, it is.
It is. Yeah, I get it. But around here, you're getting Tex-Mex for the most part.
I just did a quick Google search. And it says Tex-Mex and authentic Mexican cuisine share similarities, but also have key differences in ingredients, techniques, and flavor profiles. Tex-Mex is a fusion cuisine that emerged from the blending of Mexican and American cooking traditions. So, yeah, it's just kind of an Americanized version, I guess, of authentic
Mexican food. Yeah. Well, for the most
I would agree. Tex-Mex is pretty much what you get around here, I guess.
Yeah, and I would say that my standard protocol on Mexican food is that it is really hard to get really good or really bad Mexican food.
I would agree with that. Yeah, it seems to all kind of be in that.
For
same.
the most part, it's
kind of the. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
And good thing about Mexican food is you can just mix it all together.
That's true.
I mean, you can just stir your plate up
and I
just go to town.
Yep.
Reminds me, I used to do that when I was a kid. I loved there would be a night where we would occasionally we would have peas, corn, and rice and gravy on the table at the same time. And my grandfather put up with it, but I would mix it all up.
Oh yeah,
rice, gravy, peas, and corn all together.
Why not?
And just did a big mush. And my grandfather would sit over there like the old man in A Christmas Story and just look at with this disgusted look on his face.
Mumbling under his breath.
Yeah, he hated it. But I was just eating it up. So I wish you'd stop this. I occasionally would tell my grandmother, I wish you'd put a stop to this. He's eating, isn't he? Needs his food. Authentic Mexican has sweat and body odor on it. Okay. Well, I mean, sure. Well, where's the most authentic place? I mean, Chewy's obviously is Tex-Mex. I get that they declare
it's branded as
they brand themselves as Tex-Mex. I'm wondering if where the authentic Mexican joints are around here.
I've had a couple around here that are what I would assume are pretty authentic because they're different than anything I've ever had at a normal restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm looking.
There's a few like Mexican markets, stuff like that.
Yeah,
you go in those, you're going to get the real stuff there.
Yeah, where nobody's speaking English.
Nope.
I get and go tonight because there's nobody in there because everybody's afraid, apparently, according to Freddie O'Connell. James, we'll get to you momentarily. I want to get to this story real quick, though. So a more than 60-year-old cold case out of Wisconsin involving a missing mother has been solved. Audrey Backberg, who is now 82 years of age, disappeared at the age of 20 and has been found, quote, alive and well, according to the Sauk County Sheriff's Office. That in a media release. This story is incredible. The Sheriff's Office, and this is, what state is this in? Wisconsin, like I said. The Sheriff's Office is now able to report that Audrey Backberg is alive and well and currently resides out of state, according to the Sheriff's Office in a media release. Further investigation has revealed that Ms. Backberg's disappearance was by her own choosing and was not the result, that is, of any criminal activity or foul play. Backberg disappeared from her family home July 7th, 1962. According to the Wisconsin Department of Justice, the family's babysitter told authorities that she and Audrey Backberg hitchhiked to Madison, Wisconsin, before taking a Greyhound bus to Indianapolis, Indiana. There, the babysitter said she last saw Audrey walk around the corner away from the bus. The mother of two never returned home and has never been heard from again, according to the Charlie Project, which profiles missing person cold cases. The Charlie Project says Audrey married a man by the name of Ronald Backberg when she was about 15 years of age, and their marriage was, quote, troubled, and there were allegations of abuse. As a result, according to this babysitter, I don't know who the babysitter was or why there was a babysitter, but according to this babysitter, the babysitter stated Audrey chose to leave of her own accord and said she would not return, but Audrey's family members insisted she would never have abandoned her children. The Charlie Project added that, quote, Ronald passed a polygraph exam conducted after Audrey's disappearance. The Sauk County Sheriff's Office assigned the cold case to a deputy earlier this year, which included a thorough reevaluation of all case files and evidence combined with re-interviewing witnesses and uncovering new insights, and eventually led to the discovery of the woman who did not want to be interviewed or did not want to have any discussion about any of it with anybody. So this woman, at the age of 20, walked away from her life of her own accord, and she was found 62 years later. Now, the interesting part about this, and then the somewhat sad part about this, is she may have been, according to reports at the time, she was in something of an abusive relationship. She was married at the age of 15, had 2 kids before 20. But she walked away from her kids.
Yeah, kind of sad.
That's very sad. But apparently felt the need to do so and maybe just put it out of her mind. But 62, that you don't get that very often. No. 62 years later, found alive and well. And I guess, I don't know that you would say that ends well. I mean, if you're the kid.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough one.
I mean, you don't want to see your mother at that point, right? You're 60.
I would not think you would have any desire to.
No, I mean, you're not.
Yeah. Yeah. When she doesn't want anything to do with you, obviously.
That's just sad. That's just sad. 3277 says Nolensville Road taco trailers, bushwhackers, alcoholic Wendy's Frosty. That's the entire message.
Sounds like a good time.
Sounds like a good time to me. Killer Mole at Mimo's in Mount Juliet. All right, well, I'm duly noted. Tonight is amateur night when it comes to Mexican food. Don't go tonight. There'll be idiots out. I mean, right? I mean, don't even go out tonight. It's ridiculous. 19 after the hour, I will get you an update on where we are in terms of Mexico's response to President Donald Trump. Donald Trump is attempting to help Mexico with their illegal drug problem and their gang and criminal activity problem. And apparently Mexico wants nothing to do with it. We'll tell you what Claudia Sheinbaum had to say about it. Claudia Sheinbaum sounds like everyone's favorite Jewish aunt, but she's actually the president of Mexico. And she had a few things to say to Donald Trump about his suggestion that we could help on the southern border and the gang activity going on there. We'll tell you what that was in just a moment. Plus your calls. It's the Murphy Show on Super Talk. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy, and it's hard to find someone you can trust when it comes to large home repairs. Someone like Jeff Eddy and Efficient Heating and Cooling. See, that wasn't that hard, was it? You know, it's hard when you don't have me on your side. But when you got me on your side, I'll tell you about old Jeff Eddy and Efficient Heating and Cooling. They are great at what they do. And right now, it is summertime season, even before summertime gets here. we understand. Look, I think we're in blackberry winter, right? That's what we call this right now, blackberry winter, blackberry spring, where we've got that little bit of a cool patch where it's only 60 degrees today, but the temperatures will be up there before you know it. It's why summer maintenance is so important on your unit, because if it's going to break down, your AC is going to break down, it's going to do so during the summertime, because that's when it's working the hardest. Catch those issues before they happen with summertime maintenance. And with Efficient, you get their maintenance guarantee. If they have to come back during this summer for any reason whatsoever to work on your AC system after they've done maintenance on your unit, the service charge is free to you, free to me. It's completely waived. Get that maintenance scheduled today by going to Efficient at efficienthvac.net. That's efficienthvac.net, or call 615-784-4424, 784-4424 for our friends at Efficient Heating and Cooling. If your AC is not ready, call Jeff Eddy. As Mother's Day, I should say, approaches, I want to highlight an organization that cares deeply for mothers, and that is Preborn. We had a great opportunity to speak with Dan Steiner, the president of Preborn. Preborn's network, that was last Friday, and you can hear that conversation if you go back to our podcast page. Preborn's network of clinics exists exclusively to offer love and life and support to pregnant mothers who are feeling scared and alone, being pressured to make an ultimate decision that will not only sacrifice the life of their pre-owned baby, but also take a piece of their heart with them. When a distressed mother comes to Preborn, she's welcomed with open arms and offered a free ultrasound to hear and see the precious life inside her. The majority of the time when she sees that ultrasound, when she hears the sounds of her new baby, she chooses life. It's a wonderful choice that she makes. This Mother's Day, you can help bring life to both a mother and an at-risk baby. One ultrasound is only $28. 5 ultrasounds, $140. Every penny goes toward loving mothers and babies. When you become a monthly sponsor, you receive pictures and stories of the lives that you have helped save. And I ask you to get involved by dialing pound 250 and say the keyword baby. That's pound 250 and say baby, or dial in baby, I should say. And visit preborn.com/Murphy if you want to give online. That's preborn.com/Murphy. And give as you can today. It is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I got a lot of paperwork here. I'm dealing with that. It is the Matt Murphy Show. Glad to have you with us. 24 minutes after the hour. We've got Ken Weaver's news coming up in about 5 minutes. We got about 35 minutes to go before we'll say good night and call it a night and hand off to the great one, Mark Levin. We had a conversation about Blackberry Winter some months ago, and I looked it up, and I think it's that late cold snap. I think this is it, right? This Blackberry winter, I guess
so.
I suppose. I mean,
it's definitely a lot cooler than I was expecting.
It has been chilly over the last several days, and downright picking on we were picking on the forecast guy over the weekend. He was saying it was raw. Oh, it's going to be raw on Sunday. Raw. Kept saying the word raw for some reason. Raw. And you know what it was yesterday?
A little raw.
It was raw.
Yeah.
He was right.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose that's Blackberry winter. James is in Dixon with a thought on these ICE raids that we saw over the weekend. Hello, James.
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
I'm great. Hope you are.
Okay. Well, I've got a theory, and I've heard no comparison. Where anytime we have mass shootings and school shootings, which we have had in Nashville, the left always says, "What are we going to do about gun control?" And my thoughts are, after this raid this weekend, and we took illegal guns off of the street, but yet the left is claiming, "Oh, we're separating these people from their families." And I'm going to hang up and listen to your response on what you think about that.
Well, thank you for the call and thank you for the comment, James. The political left, you're dealing with a bunch of hypocrites, or at least people that don't really have the courage of core convictions. Here's what I mean. They see a situation and they decide how to best take advantage of the situation from a political position. And so when dealing with inner city violence, for example, we don't talk about some of the cultural aspects of that inner city violence that might lead those individuals to violence on the streets. We don't talk about, for example, black on black crime, which is very prevalent, because that leads us to a conversation that the left will tell you they want to have, but they don't really want to have, which is the cultural ramifications of fatherless homes and how sadly that has impacted the black community more so than other communities in our country from a racial or cultural perspective. Now, it impacts every race and ethnicity, but I'm identifying those places where liberals aren't willing to go, right, like you say. Well, similarly, when it behooves a Freddie O'Connell or a Heidi Campbell or a Gloria Johnson or a Justin Jones to scream and yell about gun violence and getting guns off the street, well, obviously they're going to use that to their own political advantage. When they can use, and sadly they did, mothers of Covenant School to their political advantage, they'll act like the best friends of Covenant School. They don't care for religious affiliated schools very much in their normal lives until they can take advantage of them. You see how that works? And then they do when it comes to stuff like gun control. But when we see illegal aliens or when we see individuals from a primarily Latino community like Antioch or whatnot, when they have individuals with warrants taken off the streets or guns, drugs taken off the street, you don't hear a peep out of the political left because it does not behoove them politically. Freddie O'Connell doesn't give a crap. Okay? He is maybe he would disagree with that assertion. If he did, would you not make mention of the fact that some of these people were actually criminals? Is that too much to mention? That these were people with warrants, with illegal guns, with illegal drugs? Isn't that the type of activity we want on the streets of Nashville, to remove the criminal element or not? Or not? Freddie? Amy is next up. Hey, Amy, how are you?
Hey, Matt, I'm great.
Good. What's going on?
Good Mexican food, Nolensville Road, anywhere between Old Hickory Boulevard and 440. Sit down La Plaza, right there at Hickory Hollow Plaza, is probably one of the better Mexican places around.
Is that like La Plaza Mariachi? Is that what we're talking about?
Oh, no, not that far down.
Okay.
La Terraza is the name of the restaurant. It's in the Hickory Plaza, right there, Nolensville and Old Hickory Boulevard intersection. There's a Kroger, and it's kind of got like little strip mall shops and stuff. There used to be Fogata's, which was behind Lowe's, but they closed up apparently, which is really sad because they were the best. My husband's Mexican, so I know where all the great authentic Mexican places are, and he cannot stand Tex-Mex.
Give me the name of it one more time, Amy.
La Terraza.
Terraza. Okay, yeah. I'm going to give it a try. Got it.
They had a Volkswagen Bug meet up there yesterday, so it was a lot of fun.
I'm sure it was.
But he follows this Facebook page that's all like Hispanic gossip, basically, and they're tracking all the ICE raids and that raid that was in L.A. Lower Antioch a couple of weeks ago. That was all the big rage and talk about on the social media channels.
So your husband, you said, is Hispanic.
He is, yeah.
I mean,
he got his citizenship about, I think 8 years ago.
Good for him and good for you guys. Is there, I mean, has he experienced, like, through contacting on Facebook or whatever, I mean, has there been, quote unquote, fear? I mean, is that accurate that there is fear in the Hispanic community?
I mean, probably the ones that aren't here, yeah, they they should be.
Right.
He's happy about it, though, because, he did it the right way. So it's a little bit infuriating to see people to break the laws and there be no consequences.
Well, and it has been my experience, and thank you, Amy, for the telephone call. I got to get to the news. It's been my experience that many, many individuals who are Hispanic feel the same way, that, they did the hard work to do it the right way, and they feel like you should do the hard work to do it the right way as well. We're going to do this the right way. It's time for news on Super Talk. All right, folks, Tennessee Men's Clinic is here for the fellas in the audience, but I want you ladies to listen up, too. If you've noticed a loss or of a step or two in the bedroom, I understand that this is a personal matter between you and your guy. But ladies, your guy can regain that step. It doesn't have to be just lost to age, lost to time. You can get it back by going to the Tennessee Men's Clinic. Your fella might just need a nudge. He might just need a nudge in the direction of calling and scheduling an appointment with one of their qualified urologists today. And, you know, when you go in for that appointment, you sit down, they go over you, they talk to you about the various programs that they have at the Tennessee Men's Clinic. They talk to you about loss of energy, and they go over some blood work with you. And before you leave the office that day, you're going to know about your T levels. You're going to know what your plan of action needs to be to get back right again and to get back intimate again with that significant other. That's something. TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. That's TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. Or call for that appointment. 2 locations. One is in Cool Springs. The other in Midtown. It's 615-208-9090. 208-9090. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for listening, whatever time you're able to give us, and I appreciate every single one of you. Patrina has written in and has given me a little bit of a finger wag, but I think I deserve it. I think I deserve it, Patrina. Patrina says, love you, Murph, but I've had a gripe with you, and I've pointed it out in the past. You were remiss in thanking our service member. You did not say so to Danny. Come on, son. Do better. In a way, you represent us all. Appreciate you and listen every day on the YT.
YouTube.
Oh, the YouTube. Yeah. I'm always a little bit behind the live. Also follow you and my secret crush, your boy Jay, on the X Machine. Ooh, secret crush. Not so secret anymore. Patrina, you're correct. I was lost in Danny's story, and I was trying to keep up. And in my defense, it's not an excuse, it's just a defense, it was difficult to keep up because there was a lot of things going on. There were people dying and people getting killed, and I did not thank him for his service. And I try to do that every time I talk to an individual that offers up that information because I do deeply, deeply appreciate the service provided by men and women all across this great country in defense of the freedoms that we enjoy on a day-to-day basis. So I thank you for that. Now, as the fabulous feature film was quoted as saying, gentlemen, you had my curiosity, but now you have my attention. That's a little Django Unchained, Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, you had my curiosity. Now you have my attention. Adam is on line 3. And something that Chris Webber said to me during the break got my attention.
Yep.
Adam has a different perspective about La Peraza.
The La Terraza with a T, and I've been going to this restaurant for
Adam, are you talking to me?
10 years.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right. I just hit you up there. So I don't want to cast aspersions, and I'm not doubting your story, but let's just say an unnamed Mexican restaurant. Can we do that? Just for my sanity. So without mentioning La Peraza or whatever, what happened to you? You got shot?
So, we were. I have not. They're almost 10-month-old twin daughters now, but they were 7 months old. This happened on February the 8th. Audrey and I were taking the girls to La Terraza. It was like 7:15. We get there maybe 7:30, 7:45. It's there's a new Starbucks that's out in the parking lot, so we kind of parked close to the Starbucks. I had both girls in my hands carrying it. We forgot the stroller, so I was carrying their car seats. Again, they were 7 months old. We're walking to the first row of cars to go in the restaurant, and this car backs up into me as I'm walking behind it, obviously. Didn't have his lights on or anything. He just started backing up and hit me as I'm carrying the kids. I'm like, hey, I think I probably kicked the back of the bumper just to kind of get his attention to where he could feel we're back there. I said, hey, are you going to run over me? Stuck his head out the window, said an expletive. How the F was I supposed to see you? I said, use your rear view, man. He backed up into Audrey. She was about 4 or 5 steps up her bag. She screams. By that time, this is a true story. You can go on News Channel 2 and read it. Backs into Audrey. She screams. I'm standing there with the babies. I'm thinking, damn, this is about to get hairy. I'm like, well, I don't really, I can't put the babies down. What am I supposed to do? Well, this guy's got a gun pointed at my head, sitting in the driver's seat of his car. I'm standing there thinking, I'm actually thinking I'm dreaming, and why am I not having any life-ending thoughts? And then I'm thinking, I know this guy's not about to pull the trigger and shoot me while I'm holding my kids.
Oh, my.
As soon as that thought goes through my head, he pulls the trigger and shoots me.
What?
Yeah, and I don't feel anything. I feel the blow of the shot. Audrey's screaming. People are screaming in the parking lot. I'm standing between his car and the restaurant, so he shoots me into towards the restaurant, which he caught another charge for. And I didn't feel any pain at the moment, or when he shot me. And they're running up to me and they're like, "Did you get shot? Did he shoot you?" And once I put the babies on the ground, once that pressure relieved, I felt the blood just start flowing down the backside of my hip. He shot me in the hip, and it went out my right buttocks. And, it was a miracle. I mean, the gun was pointed literally right at my head. Audrey was watching through the passenger window the whole thing take place. And police came. I went to Vanderbilt, and I left at like 4 hours later. And then it took, the police came and did obviously interrogated or, asked me what happened and all that good stuff. And then once the News Channel 2 came out, I'm a local business owner, and they did a story on us, and then that night someone turned him in, so he's got attempted murder charges on him.
Holy moly.
So, I won't be going back to that. We actually had to, the restaurant,
I think that'll,
they wouldn't turn over the surveillance. He was in the restaurant before he came out and shot me when he left, and they wouldn't turn over the surveillance. We had to subpoena the restaurant to turn over the surveillance footage, and that's how we got him, just so you know.
Holy moly. So you said it hit your hip and went out your butt?
It went right through my right hip and went, it's a miracle. I mean, that it didn't hit any bone or hit an organ or an artery, and it literally went in, and it went in my hip and came out my right
So it was just
buttock.
like an in and out.
Yep, in and out, and it hurt like hell, obviously. $40,000 worth of medical bills and 3 hours of being at the hospital. But,
I'm not. Wait, hold on. I think that sounded like I was diminishing the fact that I was not. I didn't mean that to sound. Oh, it's just in and out, whatever. It didn't hit any bone.
Yeah.
I mean, you can suck it up, Adam. No, my goodness. So you're all good now?
I'm
physically
good now. Babies are good. It's just the unfortunate thing. Sorry, the babies woke up when I called in. We're traveling back from Cincinnati, but that's the problem when you have a city like Nashville. It's growing so much. The crime comes from larger cities, and it's just that the police can't keep up with it. I've had robberies at my shop. I'm a car dealer, and it's just. I had a car stolen. It took 2 weeks to get a police report. The police to come over and file a police report. So it's just part of it, man. But anyways, I thought you'd.
That's an incredible story.
Get a kick out of that.
No,
yeah.
I don't. No, I don't. I mean, that's insane. I mean, well, I'm glad you're okay. Is your wife okay?
Yeah, everybody's fine, and I got a couple bullet scars, but other than that, it was quite.
And I guess one of these days you can win some bar bets. I suppose. I mean,
well, yeah, between going to prison when I was 19 and that, I've got quite the story, but he keeps getting better, I guess. Yeah. Yeah,
Adam,
man.
this is that's a heck of a story. I'm glad everything worked out. And
Well,
I wish, I was going to try to give the benefit of the doubt to the restaurant involved. Was like, well, they didn't have anything to do with it, but if they're not helping, then screw them.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
I've known these guys for almost 20 years, and I'm like, it's just crazy, man. But, they don't want to get into anything like that, too. And I'm sure they have stuff happen like that all the time and that, so you have to go through their attorneys. But they didn't have anything to do with it. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I'm just saying that's where he was.
And the escalate, and the way that you described it, tell me if I'm getting it wrong, but, the escalate, it just went from kind of 20% to 100% like that?
Went real quick. Like I said, I'm holding babies in my arms, so what kind of threat am I? It's not,
right.
I had nothing. I'm a convicted felon, so I don't even own a gun. So it's not like I had any weapons. I had two babies, one in each hand, and he looked right at me, and it was like, it seemed like it was an eternity that he stared at me with that gun pointed at my face, and it had to be like 5 to 7 seconds. So he made a conscious decision to do it with no.
But I guess he pulled the gun down at the time that he shot it to hit you in the.
Well, he kind of had the gun right in front of his chest. He didn't stick it out the window, I think. So when he didn't have his arm extended, it was a 40 caliber. So when he pulled the trigger, I think it just kind of broke his wrist, and it went from aiming at my face to when he shot it, the gun pointed down.
Thank goodness he didn't know what he was doing.
Yep, that's a fact.
Oh my gosh, more bullets than brains. Adam, I'm glad you're okay, and I'm glad the kids are okay and the wife's okay. Thank you for the call.
All right, keep up the good work.
Wow,
Thank you.
What about that?
Wild. Really wild.
I mean, it reminds you of a few things. I mean, and I'm not reflecting on Adam's story at all because I wasn't there. Adam just told you his story. But just remember how things can escalate, and you never know who you're dealing with. I have to remind myself of this during going down the highway all the time.
Yep.
I mean, Adam, you sound like a good, upstanding citizen, and one of these days we need to work on getting you your gun rights back so you can keep and carry, and I would help you do that if you want to do that. But the bottom line is this. If you arm yourself like I do, you have to remind yourself that your actions can lead to an escalation, whether you know it or not. And I'm not saying that's what Adam did. I'm just, good gracious. That sounded like that went from 10 miles an hour to 110 miles an hour in seconds.
Yep.
And why would you, throw them under the jail. I don't know the situation. I don't know the circumstances of this person's background, but I would speculate to you, you don't understand the respect of life to the point that because you feel like you were somehow disrespected or there was some altercation that you allow your emotions to get in front of it so much that you're gonna kill a dude with babies in his arms? Imagine being that guy. You are drawing down on somebody with 2 babies in their arms. That person is zero threat to you. And I don't care what type of verbal altercation you just had. You're going to shoot and kill that person. Yeah, you need to go to jail, and you need to be in jail for the rest of your life, which I hope is short. I hope it's short. Am I wrong for that? I don't think so. My goodness, Adam, what a call. What a call. 10 till the top of the hour on Super Talk. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for Grace Point Healthcare. Friends, if you're looking for a better way to get yourself some medical care, a better way to have that doctor-patient relationship, might I recommend to you Grace Point Healthcare? Grace Point Healthcare is affordable, convenient, and comprehensive medicine done the old-fashioned way. I'll tell you what that means in a moment. They're a direct pay primary care provider. What does that mean? That means that sadly, in the modern era, insurance has gotten in the way of doctor-patient decision-making. The only people that should be involved in a decision about what to do to treat you would be you and your doctor and your family and your faith. And that's it. Those are the entities that ought to be involved. Your insurance company shouldn't be involved in any of this. And sadly, they've gotten way too involved. Well, at Grace Point Healthcare, they recognize that, which is why they've created a direct pay system that is actually more affordable than the other healthcare providers out there. Patients are treated naturally whenever possible. They believe in treating you and you alone without interference from anyone else, and they don't behold themselves to a pharmaceutical company or the insurance industry either. You really can't afford exceptional medicine at your convenience. Call 599-6868 and schedule your next medical appointment today. That's 599-6868. You can get in same day or next day. Grace Point Healthcare, modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way. I just looked up this, and I think I was saying it with a P, and it was
that's
a T.
what I thought too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Terraza.
Yeah, I looked up this restaurant. I know that shopping center. Now, see, the place to go, I've never been, obviously, there, but I've eaten at, there's a joint near there called El Hat.
El Hat.
That's what I call it. It's called El Sombrero.
But
I call it El Hat. That's what we call it in America. Good Mexican food, though. 615-737-9986. If you got a thought right as we wind up the show on this Cinco de Mayo. Mario, what's up?
Hey, Matt. Happy Cinco de Mayo to you.
And to you, sir.
Well, about the history of Cinco de Mayo, it kind of originated with, like, the Spanish-American War and, like, the Revolutionary War. How Tex-Mex and Mexican food, I feel like how it was explained to me, like, as a Mexican, basically Mexican food is more traditional and Tex-Mex is more like faster and kind of like a different style of cooking. Like burritos aren't Mexican at all. Those are Tex-Mex inspired foods. So how I think about it is like Chuy's, Chipotle, that's all Tex-Mex, and, you know, like traditional Mexican food, like we call them like stews, and also like guisados, which is like sauce with meat, rice, beans, like your traditional things. Because most like Mexicans or Hispanic people eat corn tortillas, not really flour. Flour is more of a Tex-Mex thing.
Mm-hmm.
Cinco de Mayo started because it was a battle that the Mexicans won against the French in Puebla. Not a lot of Mexicans celebrate Cinco de Mayo. I mean, I feel like most of the restaurants just took advantage of that to sell more drinks and stuff like that.
The bottom line is this, Mario. Cinco de Mayo in the United States of America exists because people want an excuse to go drink.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, come on. You know?
I mean, it's not stopping anyone. I mean, that's why, I mean, I've been told today by countless people, happy Cinco de Mayo, and just smile and tell them the same thing. Happy little Mexico, you know?
Well, thank you, Mario. Happy Cinco to you. We appreciate you. And I love Mexican fare. I'm fascinated with how it's grown in popularity during our lives. I mean, I don't. When I was a kid, I don't think there was a Mexican joint in my hometown. THOMSOM, no P in Thompson. Small town. I suppose there were Mexican places in Augusta. Do you remember Mexican when you were a kid?
I don't remember it until I was pretty much an adult, honestly.
I mean, and
I'd say
now
late 90s before I really ever ate Mexican.
I'm not against it. Now it's everywhere.
It is, yeah.
I mean, and that's all good. And that's fine. I mean, but you don't see the proliferation of Italian places.
Yeah.
Or, other food styles or international food genres. I'm not knocking it. I just, it's just interesting to watch as it grows in popularity around us. Happy Cinco to you for those who celebrate. We've had a good show. I hope you've enjoyed it. Dadgummit, I didn't get to Lamborghini yachts. Did you see that there was a Lamborghini yacht?
Ooh.
That sank?
Oh, really?
$4 million yacht. Goodbye. Sank really quickly, though.
Well, that's good.
Like 190 miles an hour or something like that. And I failed to mention getting to say hello to Tucker Carlson. Maybe next time. Got to say hello to him on Friday. That does it for the Monday show. The great one's coming up next. We'll be back for a Tuesday edition. Until then, hug your loved ones. So long, everybody.